Nuovarden is a dimension of wide-open mystery and infinite discovery, created by our very own DungeonMisterTy and published by Adventure Slang Productions. You can learn all about this dynamic game system and wondrous setting at adventureslang.com. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Superior Adventures Guild. My name is Dave, your humble host for another awesome game of Nuovarden with a fantastic group of people. I missed you guys so much last week, so I'm really glad that we're all back together and looking forward to see what kind of crazy hijinks we get into. Real quick before I hand it over to our seer, DungeonMisterTy, a quick reminder to folks that we do have a giveaway tonight. Adventure Slang Productions, who is publishing this amazing game with our friend Ty at the helm, has donated a digital copy of the Nuovarden core rulebook to give away to our chat. So exclamation mark drawing to get in on the chat action, and we'll draw the lucky winner at the end of tonight's game. And then if you are interested in getting in on some loot from Adventure Slang Productions, some virtual loot for your tabletop games, your virtual tabletop, I should say, and some asset packs for Nuovarden, go over to adventureslangproductions.com. I'm going to drop the link in the chat. Sign up for their email list. And once you confirm that, you'll be you'll be stowed with gifts for gaming. So,
Nice.
make sure you guys take advantage of all that good stuff. I'm going to now shut my mouth and pass it over to you, my friend Ty, to tell us what the hell is going on around here.
I don't even know what's going on around here. Welcome, everybody, and welcome to my cast back for our sixth episode, sixth session of this story. And thanks, everyone, for joining. Also, a big thank you to those of you who have signed up already on our mailing list to follow. We are aware of your presence, so thank you very much for doing that. Happy and excited to bring Nuovarden to you again. This is a non-medieval fantasy game. This is non-medieval fantasy setting. It's not your elves and dwarves. It's other sorts of folks who can do other sorts of things that are sometimes and often unexpected. So if you haven't been following us to this point, hopefully you're in for a treat. We are going to recap here in just a minute. As Dave said, please join the giveaway. Jump in there for a chance to win the PDF version of the core rulebook when we publish it later this year. And jump over to adventureslang.com and check us out as well. Let's reintroduce our cast, folks. If you would introduce yourselves and who you're playing to remind everyone where you're at. Lamar, if you would lead us off, please.
Top of the evening to you, lads. Is both and neither. My name is Lamar the Con Guy. I am playing our mystery Ixie Tosh. They are adorable and looking for meaning in holes.
Tosh started as mystery and it has evolved to include mind. Is that right?
I believe that is correct.
That's
That is
terrifying.
correct.
That's terrifying.
No, silence. Silence.
Oh, that's even scarier.
Mystery is silence. Since you can't hear anything in space.
Yes. Just for a reminder for everyone, mystery is things like teleportation, turning invisible, looking into the void, opening up doorways to the void, and things like that. Silence is shadows, shadow works, the sounds and sights of masking one's movement and ability to manipulate those sorts of things. So Tosh, as gentle and kind as they are, is a Pandora's box of unexpected secrets.
That's on brand.
Utahime, would you please introduce yourself and your character?
Hello, everyone. I'm Utahime. I play this group's Lanplak. I would like to say she's the budding huntress to take on her great grandmother's legacy. She did find her great grandmother's bow. Her name is Ela Nalnik. She is basically the mother sister type of the group who's trying to wrangle in all of the mischievous shenanigans that are happening between this group. I mean, I guess First Foundation tries to stay out of the shenanigans, but still kind of goes with them in the end. So Ela's just trying to navigate it all. But I think she's really enjoying being with this group, and she's learning a lot, especially about the cultures. So, yeah.
And your disciplines are body and technology.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I can shoot that bow. Otherwise, it's useless. I can't do anything with it. But she is also, too, I like to try to remind folks, she is 7 feet tall. She is one big bad mamma jamma. So, yes, don't mess with her because she will throw you across a stream.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Ashley.
Hey, everybody. I'm Ashley, Minnesota Muse 99 on Twitter. And I am playing for you tonight a Lenai named Ode. And Ode is kind of like a chaotic ball of craziness and not quite all there. And I can use magical elemental powers to like blow things up and make things disappear. And yeah, it's crazy. And I took Mind last time, so I can now mess with people's minds.
Literally.
Yeah.
That's not safe.
No. Oh, yeah, it needs to come with a warning.
A Pandora's box of a different sort.
A warning label. I like it.
Thanks very much, Ashley. Dave, who are you playing for us tonight?
Hey, everybody. You know me, I'm Dave. I play games, produce games, run games here on Guild Superior with my friends, like these awesome people tonight. I am playing First Foundation. This one is of the Wotan culture, a culture of creatures who build only to watch their tower that they so diligently construct be torn down, rebuilt, torn down, rebuilt, and torn down. It's a very interesting culture, and this one is on some sort of a mission with a new defined purpose recently. So we'll see how that all ties together here as we're getting into some of the meatiest parts, I think, of this short shot campaign. So I'm super excited to play this interesting culture, which I think is this the first time the Wotan has appeared in a stream as a player?
I think it is actually. Yeah.
I think so too. Yeah. So that's kind of fun. So I'm representing the Wotan. Ooh.
Yes, represent.
Yep.
Yeah. And I am your seer. I am the game master and the game manager, if you will, who helps the players define the intent of their outcomes, and then we let the dice decide how successful they are. So, welcome to our story. When we last left off, the group had stopped off to visit the ancestral home of Gudla and Ela's grandmother. Gudla's what's the alignment there when it's not your direct grandmother? Great grand aunt.
Pretty much.
Perhaps. Yeah. At a location that Gudla had been at before, but had never found what she suspected was there in terms of that artifact. But took Ela back there to examine the grounds and to be in the presence of her grandmother's legacy. However, in the process of interpreting some of the materials that were in one of the abandoned and torn down halls, found a hidden tomb that was occupied momentarily by a number of creatures referred to as key scales. And they attacked the party as they are wont to do when the party moved in behind the waterfall to find this tomb, and the group fought them off, and then gradually revealed a hidden compartment that had the bow of renown, Kaikal's bow. And Ela and Gudla embraced this artifact, and Ela adopted it as sort of a birthright to fulfilling her grandmother's legacy, or extending her grandmother's legacy with her own ambitions as well. The group then returned to Axelo Akaln, which is a dual-hubbed city on the river, the Altoren, which was the home of Governor Darum Yalonk, and the Yalonk family currently is managing the city. However, Gudla, Ila's cousin, is next in line to take that leadership whenever the current governor steps down. Rumors have been circulating for a good long time that the governor was ill, that the governor may have passed, that the governor made a miraculous recovery, and the party had witnessed various things in the process of their interactions with the governance to suggest that something was amiss. They began to piece together some possibilities, one of which is pretty disturbing, that perhaps it is not the governor who is in command of his own life at this point, but perhaps it is an inhabiting Starnum. The Starnum are the visiting people who changed the whole paradigm for this world and have the ability to move their semi-corporeal forms into other forms and possess them, for a lack of a better term, and command their forms, sometimes passing off as others. At this point, there is great concern for Gudla's safety and the potential for her to take authority should it be her time. And so the party met with an insider named, totally forgot their name, Nimsistrala, can't even say my own words, who is a Selkie in the governor's court. And the Selkie record things on their skin via tattoo arts that they learned from the Asgal. And in the process of doing that, begin to observe things themselves that were amiss. The Nimstrasala is also part of the Poison Swehans, which is a sort of spy network within the town. And Gudla knew this. Gudla invited Nimstrasala to meet with them, and they discussed concerns and plans to find out more. The party agreed that they would be responsible for finding evidence while Gudla went to find allies in neighboring villages. And that's where we left off last time, with a rest, and the group was going to pick up in the morning, which is where we pick up now. The morning welcomes, skipping ahead, we're just going to move you up from the morning repast and rest. You have all recovered your resources and have moved onto the street where the governor's residence is, and across the street and down a little ways is the Goodwill Reclaimers, who is Gudla's group. And the Goodwill Reclaimers are, they travel around, they try to find artifacts, they try to return things to the rightful place. The morning welcomes a great entourage of Wotan, Stone Shaper's first fulfillment. This was the group that the party had met, and First Foundation had a private audience with Stone Shaper, who is a Wotanla. The Wotanla are specialists in creating empowered items from special materials, and have a point of honor in that regard. Stone Shaper is the leader of this first fulfillment group. Heavily laden wagons drawn by powerful gore form a train from north over the bridge, down the streets, and just past the governor's residence, where the travelers set camp in the fields just beyond the palisade. Gudla and the rest of you watch from the opposite side of the road, where you have joined her and the Reclaimers camped in a meadow. And as this wagon train is passing through, and there's all of these Wotan just marching in step, on one of the wagons, you see those little group of Lenai that you had met there, and they are all sort of sitting around this crate that's jumping and jouncing. And from within it, you can see through the slats, there's like some sort of a twister, a whirlwind, just going ham inside the crate. The wagon carries on down the road, and this entourage, they post up. You remember just past the palisade, there was more field. There were more open fields. Like at the end of this road, the city sort of tapered off, and residences started to dot the forest past there. But other than that, it was fairly open. Even as some of the Wotan begin unloading the wagons, others meet with figures from the governor's property and begin touring the palisade, pointing and discussing aspects of the structure. A guard appears around the front of the palisade, leading a bizarre animal on a leash, a 4-foot-long creature standing a foot or so high. The creature walks on 6 legs, and 2 more leg-like appendages extend rearward out of a carapace on its back. The appendages seem to search the air. Rows of eyes extend from its head and along the carapace on both sides, while long antennae hang forward from the middle of its head. The carapace ends at a grub-like abdomen. Even at this distance, you can make out 4 sharp black mandibles protruding from its mouth. This is the first time you recall seeing such creatures at the residence. And let me give you an image, just in case you feel like you're going to get good sleep tonight, what this thing looks like.
Is this nightmare fuel again? Oh my God.
Oh, why?
Oh,
Sexy.
probably pretty tasty.
Ew.
If anyone would like to give me a lore check, I can see. We can see if you know what this is.
Yes, please.
I don't think Ela would want to know.
I got a 4.
Just kidding. Just kidding.
It's a call check, right?
Yep.
Yes, call roll. Yep.
Nope.
I have a 4.
All right. Ode.
No, I got like a 1 and a 3.
Okay. I don't know what that is. And Ela, you're not even messing with it? Okay. All right. Tosh and First Foundation, this creature is referred to as a disruptor grub. It is not the only form this creature takes, but it appears that the guards are using this as sort of a watch animal. And let's see, you know that there's something, they're called disruptor grubs because they mess with manifesting energy. So when there's manifestations going on around them, they have an ability to interrupt that energy sometimes naturally. How they do it, you don't really know. You just know that that's the reputation that they have. They also have a pretty nasty bite that is acidic.
Ooh.
The fact that the governor's residence now is employing these creatures, which you had not seen in the time that you've been here yet, is interesting.
And how many are there again?
Just one
Just
one
the
guard
one.
and one of these creatures just tootling along across the grounds. Those appendages that are on the back, you see there at the end, they have kind of a what would you call it? Sort of a folded end there.
Mm-hmm.
When it searches the air, those expand a little bit. They open up, kind of like webbed things, and they sense the air.
Ty, First Foundation is going to manifest just a simple mundane tool for a moment, just to see if their manifestation energy is being affected right now, given what they know of this creature and the proximity, trying to gauge how close they can get.
Okay. Give me a, so you are, what did we determine? It's about, you're probably about 60 feet away. Give me a call roll tech.
4 and a 2.
Just a 4?
Yep, just 1 4.
Well, it's a 2-die roll.
Yep,
because it's a call roll.
Yep, a 4 and a 2. So just
4
one.
and a 2. Okay.
Yep.
All right. You manifest up this tool, and maybe the creature reacts to it, but nothing that's perceptible happens with your manifestation.
Am I able to get a little bit closer and try it again?
Sure.
I'm gonna walk 10 feet forward. Basically, I'm trying to figure out if there's a distance, a proximity sort of thing.
Right. Yeah, go ahead and do that again. Tell me what your complete roll is.
I rolled a 3 and a 1.
Okay. When you roll the 1, when you roll that 3-1, Let me see. That one mechanically becomes a 0. And you see that creature, like those antennae that are coming off of its back, flare, and they like get it, they vibrate and they come into sync with each other. And as you start to manifest that tool, there is a like a repulsion of manifesting energy in that manifesting effort. And you take 1 injury as that tool starts to manifest, and it burns in your hand and it snaps out of existence.
This one
let me
just
see.
learned something, I think. How close am I?
What was the question?
I was just curious, how close was I able to get about when that happened?
About 50 feet.
Okay. That was painful.
I wouldn't suggest doing that again anytime soon.
That is good advice that this one will take.
Are you doing okay now?
I think so.
Or still hurt?
It noticed this one's manifestation, and it hurt. But this one is okay. Just
That
testing.
seems pretty dangerous, just be, like parading around on the street.
Especially if there's nothing directed as far as danger towards it, and it still responds that way.
Right? I'm going to write a letter.
That is a good idea.
Who writes?
Ela kind of like hesitantly goes, me?
All right, take this down.
Okay. She's gonna pull out some paper, kind of like if it's something similar to parchment, and anything she can write with.
First Foundation hands her a quill and some ink.
Okay. And then Tosh, I'll need this hand though. This is my right hand.
Tosh will reluctantly let you go, but will then with both of their hands grab the back of like your outfit and just like bury their head into your back.
Oh.
It's okay. It's okay. You'll hold my hand soon enough. Okay. So, all right. Ode, what would you like for me to write down for you?
Dear Safety Inspector, the city is very unsafe with your 6-legged manifestation stopping creatures that you are parading down the street on leashes, and somebody might get accidentally hurt by this nuisance. So we are very upset, and you need to do something about it. Is that something you can maybe, Goodla could bring, to a inspector or something? I don't know. What do they have here?
That's a good question. I'm sure Goodlove would know exactly who this should go into the hands of, for sure. Yes. I don't handle those things, and I'm definitely not from this area. So, unfortunately, in this situation, especially given our suspicions, I'm not sure whether or not it'll even go to the right person to begin with. But it's worth a shot.
I might suggest as well our friend Krav, the guard, the sergeant of arms, who arrested these and then released us and became our friend.
That doesn't seem like he's very good at his job. He just randomly arrests people and then randomly releases them.
I'm not sure if it was completely random.
It seems like there were a bunch of events that happened that led up to said arrest.
Yeah,
While I was away,
They hate tourists here.
Birds.
that
Those were
and
awesome.
questions. It seemed like you asked way too many questions, which basically led to suspicion.
Right. They don't like questions here.
Or birds.
They do like giant manifestation squashing bugs.
So now
Yeah.
that causes a whole other set of concerns for me, because obviously now that changes plans once again as far as how we should go about looking into certain things.
Indeed.
I wonder if their ability is a manifestation. Like, maybe we should break into the jail and steal some of that ore that like makes manifestations not happen, and then we can, you know, maybe that the bug won't do its thing, and maybe the sternum will get expelled from its human corpse that it's riding around in.
You actually have a good idea, Ode. If we test it on this creature first, we can see if it even works to begin with. At least, away from the actual cell itself. And then that would determine whether or not we could actually use it for the sternum.
Just looking around to make sure that nobody is listening to this conversation that we're having out on the streets.
You're mostly huddled around the reclaimers, and you're with good luck. But the guard did stop and then called another guard over, and they're having a conversation. And you can't hear what they're saying, but the guard's like motions to the bug, and then they're looking around, and it triggered them that somebody had tried something in the area. But there are now a lot of people, and these Wotan they're like spilling out all on that side of the street, and there's they're like a bunch of assessors taking stock of the palisade.
So first thing we need is some kind of a saw. And not a magical one, because I won't be able to use magic to saw one of those bars off.
I think that's First Foundation's area, right?
Saws. Yes.
Or items that we can use to collect the material needed.
But
This
aren't
one
those
can create a
manifestations?
permanent manifestation of a tool that when created is no longer a manifestation but is real.
Oh,
Hmm.
that's what we need. A real saw. And then I'll just get arrested and like it'll all work out.
I'm pretty sure before you would go inside the cell, they would probably take it from you. Because it could also to be used as a weapon.
I don't know, they
However,
didn't search me last time.
we could bake pies with our friends, put the saw in the pie, bring the pie to Ode in jail, provide them with pie and saw.
How big would this pie have to be in order to?
Quite large.
Yeah,
Saw sized.
yeah. I don't know. Perhaps another alternative, since I am rather large, I can just try to hide it, and my hair also too is fairly long, so it'll probably hide it if I put it on my back along with my bow.
Tosh will peek around Ila's back and he says, I can sneak in.
Oh, of course, you can do that thing you do, and where you end up in another place randomly, so quickly, you disappear.
Like
But
travel by hole?
Or be like
Sort of.
invisible. or silent. I follow you guys around a lot, and you don't seem to notice.
Well, I definitely do because, well, mainly because you're holding my hand often, like you're doing right now.
And then they'll just slither back because they're afraid of that bug thing.
You'll feel also too where like basically you had probably grabbed her hand with the quill still in it. Like immediately after she finished writing this letter. Just like the hand was still in.
I just need it to be a standing offer that if Hila has a free hand, it is occupied.
Yep. The moment that she stopped writing, that was it.
Gudla says, if you can get in there, how are you going to saw on the bars with the guard in there?
Hole.
The whole guard?
Hold the guard, saw the thing, leave.
I don't know. I'll leave it up to you.
It's like, you're gonna die.
I don't know. Maybe you could call the guard out for something, like ask them to look at something and give us a moment.
I'm trying to stay removed from the stuff. Look, as she starts to speak to you, slipping among the figures, you see Stone Shaper, their bright blue robes standing out among the drab colors of the others as they slip through the entrance in the palisade, along with an escort of several guards. Meanwhile, several Wotan begin stacking materials along the outside wall, even as some sort of construction ensues. And let me give you a new image here of what you sort of see going on. The Wotan have piled out just a ton of building materials, and they're starting to collect folks around that are literally starting to work on the outside of this palisade.
Ty, does it seem like First Foundation could kind of step forward and blend into the Wotan and begin helping?
Oh, sure, you can give that a try.
Perhaps this one will see what this one can find out.
Yeah, we don't know what they're making.
What are they building in there?
And Stone Shaper had some type of agreement with the governor, right? Was that during the governor's shift, so to speak?
The Stone Shaper indicated that they had observed a newness to the governor of some kind, perhaps the same strange transformation that we have noticed.
So potentially, whatever agreement was when the governor had changed drastically, possibly controlled by the Starnum, which means who knows what the true purpose of whatever the governor promised, what the true purpose of that was.
Yeah, probably not for good.
But maybe because of the fact that you seem to make a connection with Stone Shaper, maybe you can get that information, as you said, or at least some hints that will help us in this situation.
Indeed. This one will do their best.
Gudla says, I'm going to take the Reclaimers and seek aid at Shanlak Harbor. If I can secure their help, we might also get help from Kinnerall Harbor and put pressure on Durham or whoever to relinquish the seat. If you can verify the threat with clear evidence, I have no doubt others will support us.
All right, we'll make sure to work on that as soon as possible, and be safe, cousin.
You too, and stay out of trouble.
And then Hila's gonna look around. That's gonna be difficult.
She gives you a hug and then turns over to the Reclaimers, and they all start to filter in to load up the team and prepare to leave. And First Foundation, you wanted to try, is this when you want to try and slip over there and infiltrate the team?
Yep.
Okay. All All right. So you're just going to sort of weave your way to some avenue and head over there. So you're doing that. And the rest of you watch as First Foundation crosses the street and moves toward the other Wotan. Meanwhile, the other three are standing there, and "Oi!" says a voice drifting through your minds. "Down here, up the street on your side." You see a brief wave from Barrow, the green-cloaked black-beaked cuckoo, and he's some distance down the street, so he's speaking to you. But all three of you can hear him speak.
New friend. And then Tosh will actually let Hila go and kind of book their way towards their new friend.
Man,
Oh,
he's
no.
a runner.
Oh no, Hila's going to try to, because of the fact that Tosh is not really as tall as she is, so her stride is going to be far greater than his, or theirs, and to try to like basically bridge that gap, because I imagine this is a little person like scuttering along, and then it's like the mother trying to get their kid that's running across the street.
Oh no
into traffic. Yeah.
Have they invented child leashes?
We need that right now. Oh my goodness.
And Ode, what are you doing?
I think that I am going to check out to see what the other Leni are doing.
Okay, so they have disappeared into this big old.
Oh, they already have.
Split the party!
They're not
That's
inside.
what's happening.
You haven't seen them go inside the palisade, but they are somewhere in that mix of the troop the entourage that came rolling through. So in the mix of the wagons and the livestock and the other Wotan and stuff, like they're over there, and you don't have sight of them right now. They would be on the other side of the street and in that field over there. First Foundation is just starting to approach the milieu of workers going on, and your other two companions have gone up the street toward Barrow.
All right, I'll follow the group since I can't find the other group.
So you approach Barrow, and as you get closer, he closes the distance and says, "Someone wants to meet you. All of you."
Do they like pies as well?
I imagine so. I don't know, but they want to be eaten now. So you come with me, and you can ask them yourself.
Now, did we figure out during our drunken info session, was Barrow good, or was he working with the Starnum?
Who are you asking?
The players, not their characters.
To my knowledge, wasn't this the individual who basically was told to try to like look into us? Unless I'm remembering incorrectly.
Well, he's
No.
he's the guy who hired Tosh to be a spy.
Wait.
Yeah.
If I remember properly, there was someone on the council that belongs to the same group as this guy.
Yep.
Yes.
Nims
And
Estrala, right?
so
Nope.
Barrow would be.
Regan.
We don't
Cregan.
know if it's a good guy yet, but they don't mean us harm quite yet.
But
Well, that's
Cregan
the one who
has
was
been,
meant to get information, right?
and Cregan has
us?
been withholding information from Nims Estrala, if I remember correctly.
Right.
Yeah, so this might be our person on the inside. But anyway, Tosh, with the intelligence of a rock,
Oh,
Hey!
believes his new. I mean,
normal rock.
you know what?
Oh no.
You know what? I said what I said.
That's
Sorry,
right.
with the
You're
intelligence
not
of
wrong.
of
They're very
a
similar.
bird brain.
Barrow says, "Hey."
Oh no, Barrow's a bird. How many people can
Oh,
Tosh?
Tosh
boy.
just looks over to Eli. I keep talking.
It's okay.
No.
Shh. Shh. It's okay.
No.
It's all internal monologue anyway.
But okay.
So Barrow starts leading with the expectation that you're following. Of course, he's paying attention to make sure that you are, but leads you further up the street away from the governor's residence. And meanwhile, First Foundation, you step up to these workers who are moving all over the place, and at a glance, you don't recognize anyone, but one of them comes up with some timbers and says, "Take these over there," and hands them to you.
Very well.
All right. And what's going on now is it looks like just immediately they started getting work on reinforcements. They are reinforcing the palisade in a number of ways, thickening the walls. It looks like they've got ladders out. They're working on, they've climbed up to the top of the wall. They're like assessing what it looks like up there. Some of them have ended up in some of the watchtowers, and some of them have infiltrated into the grounds beyond. There are guards at any entrance, and then there's that one dude with the disruptor grub also milling about on the street side.
And just for clarification for Dave, the palisade, this is the defensive structure of the palace.
It's
right?
the wall. It's the wall that
yeah.
goes around the yard, and then the residence is inside the yard, beyond the wall.
And the number of Wotan would be considered in First Foundation's mind to be substantial. Like,
yeah, it's all of the first fulfillment group from that whole little makeshift garrison that you visited. It's all of those people.
Wow. Okay. And they brought the supplies with them to reinforce.
They brought the whole thing. You see some of the modular pieces that formulate their perimeter. You see their forge equipment, which they're setting up. They're reconstructing. Some of them are in the field. They're reconstructing the whole thing. The pen is going up. The gore are going to be put in there. The whole shebang has been moved over here to Akshalo.
Are there any materials that seem maybe out of place or like very unique? Or is it just kind of standard construction materials?
Standard construction materials. Looks like the stuff that has been gleaned off of the landscape, timbers, stone, mostly.
I'm going to try to make Wotan small talk with one of the other workers at some point and just kind of get an idea of the urgency and purpose for the reinforcing of the palisade.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So as the Wotan are want to do when they're working, they tend to be very focused in their work. But you start, what do you say? Like, how do you break into that small talk?
Oh, something like, the weather sure is nice today.
One of them's like hammering on some stuff, and it's like, most days the weather doesn't change much here.
Right.
What we call weather is generally a bad omen. Starts hammering on another attack.
So, the purpose seems strong for this construction. This one wonders, perhaps these can fill this one in, the sense of urgency that the governor must feel for such a mobilization of our kind.
The one that you're speaking to pauses and has like nails in their up in their mask, like fix them up into what passes for a mouth, and then turns and says, "I've thought the same. This one's thought the same. The fact is, these are so far from the tower and have moved further away. This one does not understand the point of the urgency that you speak of. But Stone Shaper knows. Stone Shaper serves these, and these serve Stone Shaper. This one supposes you're correct, though we are not anywhere near the tower.
Indeed. The first fulfillment has a purpose that perhaps is not fully revealed to these.
They point to you. This one thinks all of this is part of the fulfillment.
Unclear.
Agreed.
But of interest to those of us who serve the prophecy.
It's all of interest. This one feels impatient. This one is ready to fulfill the purpose that Stone Shaper has set before us. But Stone Shaper has said these must do this for the purpose. Did Stone Shaper say as much? Keeps working, sort of dismisses the thought.
Perhaps the building of this could lead to fulfillment of the prophecy in its destruction as well.
They point to you again. This one is perhaps onto something of consideration. Perhaps these help this governor with this governor's task, and then this governor helps these with the purpose. Fair to consider.
Indeed.
So I get back to work again. Yeah.
First Foundation will sort of continue to work, but mill about a little bit, just kind of trying to pick up anything, maybe looking for level set, maybe looking for Stone Shaper, if not available, eventually working their way back to wherever the group might be, or they're probably gone at this point.
As you're looking around for Stone Shaper, go ahead and give me a called roll body, and we'll see if you notice one or the other, or both.
2 and a 1.
2 and 1. You neither see level set nor do you see your friends. They're not across the street. The only thing you do notice is that the reclaimers appear to be on their way out. Other than that, there's just a bunch of activity going on. As I said, it's all Wotan and the guard for the governorship, and just busy constructing. You will notice, however, that there are discussions going on between Wotan to Wotan and Wotan to some of the guards with regard to objectives for reinforcing the wall, objectives for defensive measures, battlements they might want to add, the additional towers, perhaps expanding onto the other side of the road where the reclaimers were camped out, setting up maybe a gate on this side of the township, things like that. So it's all discussion generated around setting up defensive measures around the governor's residence.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Barrow guides the rest of you in through down a little alleyway southward off the main street, in through a side door to a messy and unlit room. Light filters in from tattered drapes over wood slats, and the room appears somewhat abandoned, but for torn and stained sleeping pads and discarded piles of cloth and other debris. Barrow continues on to a worn staircase that leads to a basement.
Your place is really nice.
Thanks. It's not my place, but thanks.
Oh, good. I thought this was your home. Oh, it's awful.
It's supposed to be.
Can I retro something
Yeah.
really quick? In order for, because First Foundation is not with the group, but to kind of leave a trail, just so then that way First Foundation can possibly find the group, can basically I leave like basically something behind, like basically if it's she has dried berries. It's a really weird thing and it might not work, but she's going to leave a trail of dried berries that probably, I'm assuming that during their camp time, that First Foundation would have seen that she might have given to the other two. So she's going to leave this little berry trail to kind of like, it's like something that she could just toss out of her pocket that wouldn't be seen. So then that way, the First Foundation with his analytical abilities can possibly find them.
Okay.
Their
All right.
location.
Okay. Yeah. We will note that and see how it works out if it should come up. Excellent. So there is a step, a little set of wooden stairs that appears to lead downward, and Barrow motions for you to continue. Barrow leads you down the steps into a dark, seemingly spacious room. A simple wood table sits in what might be the middle of the room, with a bright candle glowing atop it. A few dim figures stand at the edge of the candlelight to the left and right, and you sense others just outside of the light in the blackness. Within the light, at the head of the table, stands a familiar face, the stoic Kakoots from the Governor's Council, the one Ode stole thoughts from. "Who are you?" he asks with a deep snarl as you file in. "Who are you working for?"
Well, first, my name is Ela. It is a pleasure to meet you. We only met briefly prior to this at the governor's establishment. And this is, and like basically gonna kind of like pat Ode on the back.
Oh, hey, I'm Ode. I guess we are no longer currently employed since I got my property back. So we are not working for anyone.
Ourselves. We are just merely traveling through. Oh, and this one here is Tosh, who's attached to my leg.
Nope. Manifest invisibility.
Oh, nice.
Good. Well,
where'd
she's
he
gonna
go?
pat. She's gonna pat her leg because she felt something, but it's not there.
And that's a 4 and a 1.
Oh, yeah.
You
Nope.
But Tosh, you're still standing there, is that right?
Oh yeah, I definitely still have Mila's hand, but
Oh,
Okay.
I talk about my pouch. Like it's a friend of mine. It keeps all of my snacks. I could keep my snacks in there. Do you want a snack?
No.
Okay, I do have seeds. I don't know if you're.
Cregan looks over at Barrow and then scans the darkness around you and says, "I asked you who you are and who you work for. You know what I mean."
Well, we introduced ourselves and also too,
Some
that
of you
we
are
work for
missing.
ourselves. Yes, well, everyone again works for themselves. They are independent of one another. We just so happen to be friends. So some of us allow
Puts up a
the other.
finger
Oh,
of a claw. "Where's the one you hired?" And Barrow's like, "They were just there," and is like looking around. I need one of you. Huh? Go ahead.
Atash will say invisibly, "I am here. See."
All right. I need to know why you're collecting rumors about the governor.
It's just gonna look at Tosh and then look at Barrow.
From the echoes, I suppose, Tosh will say, not collecting about the governor. Governor's not here.
What do you mean?
Your governor's fake. The real one is not the governor.
There's this pause between Cregan and Barrow. You sort of feel a tension in the room, and then Cregan says,
Can I try to read his mind again?
yeah.
Come on. And I would like to use my fancy new rock, if possible.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Ela tried.
And I would like to use a primacy point. Can I
All right.
use it all
So
together?
Primacy.
would you roll a 1-2?
Yes, I did.
Oh,
Okay.
no.
So I would like to
Hey, thanks, Bleak.
push it up to a 3 and then lower the difficulty to a 3.
With the stone, yeah.
Yeah.
Is Bleak causing trouble?
Yeah, advantage for each of the players.
Oh,
Okay.
that's not trouble. That's good.
Hey,
Thank
that's
you.
good stuff.
Nice. Thought I was gonna make something explode again.
Yeah.
That will happen, I'm
I
sure.
was like, there you go. You're going to explode. into
Chat might be
noise.
using,
Read
yeah,
everyone's mind.
good judgment at the moment. But yeah, you try to pry into read Cregan's thoughts, and you don't perceive any resistance. Cregan is trying to figure you out. He's like, oh, they're doing what they were told, but why? Why are they still hanging on? And you know that there's an uncertainty in Cregan's mind about whether what they're going to do with you. Like, how are they, they're working through what the issues are. Tosh, if you want to maintain your invisible situation, you probably need to try to do that.
Rolling. 3 and a 4.
All right. And Cregan is. Cregan says, I've been paying attention to what you're doing since you got here, since you caused yourselves trouble and got yourselves arrested, and then you fulfilled the task.
Not me. I was
yeah.
not present.
You're related to Gudla Nalnik.
Of course, my last name is Nalnik.
But you know her.
Well, I mean, we should. We are related after all, and families like ours are very close.
What interest does Gudla have in the governor's well-being?
Well, they have been friends for several years, so I'm assuming just his well-being in general, like any good friend would check on their friend, I believe.
I'm going to have you, yeah, I think so. I'm going to have you give me a called roll,
Okay.
mind.
Okay.
And this is a mundane action, so it's just sort of an attempt to pass your.
I got a 4, by the way.
Very nice. I did not. So Cregan he's just eyeing you, and in the darkness, there's a slight shift. There are others that you can't see around you. But Cregan says, all right, continue what you're doing. Deliver the recipes to the pie clerk, the pie merchant.
Wait, who's all in here? And I would like to manifest light.
Okay. All right. What quadrant of the room are you targeting? Because you can
I mean, like, I heard a sound, like somebody
off to the left or
shuffled.
whatever. Uh-huh.
Yeah, I want to light the room up, like to normal, like I turned on a lamp.
Okay.
I got a double 1.
Okay.
Oh, God.
Oh,
Good. You did it.
Oh, no.
Who's all
It
in
gets
here?
darker somehow.
Oh no!
I
Oh
don't know
no!
what's
Did you
gonna
want to use?
happen.
Did you want to use your fortune's favor that you were gifted, or are you going to let
Yeah,
it?
we
Sure,
also
actually,
we also
Yeah,
have a
do it.
group. We have a group
Do it.
advantage as
Do
well.
it.
Group
Do the
fortune.
thing. Do the thing.
Oh, there's a 4.
Yay!
That advantage.
Thank you, chat. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you go. Who all's in here? And you just light up a. Let's see, your evolution, a 12-foot area that literally lights up that whole left side of the room. And you see that there are 3 other figures standing there, and they're like, whoa, and they shield
hey.
their eyes. What you see, they are, there's a couple of other Kakuts there and a Landplak woman.
Does Ela recognize this woman?
No.
Okay.
No. Not only that, but they are wearing they're wearing similar garb with those high collared robes and no armor.
Okay.
And they're just observing. And yeah, you light that up, and Cregan's like pinches his between his eyes.
Hi.
Oh, and earlier, to be fair, in addition to not being imprisoned like the rest, I also too still am very, very confused about recipes. So just so we're clear.
It's a code word.
Yeah, I again was late to the party.
Mm-hmm. I think it might be best if all of you head north and see if you can find out any other information about what the other settlements are saying about our governor. And then you can report your recipes back from that point.
So you want us to leave the city?
Yeah.
Oh. Not
See
very
how
nice.
far these rumors are spreading. I should probably give you an image of this, what this dude looks like.
How
Yeah.
big is this person, by the way?
About 6 foot or so, 6 foot plus.
Oh, so
Not
shorty
small.
Mac, shorty compared to Ela. Okay, no worries.
It's all relative.
While that's happening, is he doing this in an intimidating way?
He's not, there's not a physical sort of gesturing at you. It's just more like there's some irritation, there's a stoicism, snarl, every other thing he says.
Okay, this is just gonna be Ela basically going into mom mode because she doesn't like his tone of voice towards the children. So Ela, I'm going to do enhanced body. So in this beautiful light, warm light that Ode is emitting from I forgot where, because it could
I'll
be
just say my name for
basically she's going to make sure that her body, like all of the muscles, and it's very subtle, but it's basically almost like she's like flexing without even totally flexing, where she's like shoulders back, the muscles kind of look a little bit more veiny and more pronounced, especially with the shining of the light, to basically and she's going to take a step forward to kind of basically make herself even more kind of like have that looming presence with the light and the shadow.
I would like to assist her by putting it right under her chin so she looks terrifying.
Well, so you're gonna blast Ela with some light there underneath her chin.
Well, I mean, have you ever told stories around a campfire and you put it under your chin
yeah.
and you look like this terrified?
Yeah.
All right.
So
Just
you
one of them.
You swoop that light around. We probably need to have a maintenance roll at this point
Yeah.
from.
And I'm
Ode.
doing two dice.
2
by the
dice.
way,
So
for
you
this.
go ahead and do that. That's a cold roll anyway at this point. So
Yes, I got 2 points.
wow.
Let's go.
Nice.
Woo.
So you just boop, boop, boop.
So it's just like one
yeah.
of those things where just like all of a sudden it's just like
get a 4.
she already looked tall, but now she looks like she's almost 8 foot tall. Like, and the
Yeah.
muscles are just like just out. Like she's looking like she's ready for the bodybuilding competition that doesn't exist in this world.
Yet, yeah. Meanwhile, Ode swoops that light around and it lights up the rafters overhead. The others fall back into darkness, and there's this like really brilliant light shooting up from underneath your face, Ela, as you get Cregan's form kind of gets washed out a little bit, and but you just completely hulk out. And please give me a call roll mind again on your effort to intimidate.
Okay, so that is okay. That's a 3 and a 1. Oh no, I just needed 1, right? 1 dice.
No, it's a call roll, so you roll 2.
2. Okay, so that was a 3 and a 1. I'm going to use primacy to bump the 3 to a 4.
Do you have mind? You don't have
Ah,
mind.
darn it! I don't. Darn it.
Right.
Okay, never mind. Wait,
Okay.
but I can re-roll, correct?
Yes, you can. You can re-roll.
Primacy.
Yeah. Well, no, it wouldn't be primacy. It would
Fortune's
be
favor.
Fortune.
well, it would be
to-
primacy, but it would be it would be a 2 primacy or fortune's favor, which you have not spent yet.
Fortune's
We only had
favor.
1, right? Fortune's favor, I think, for this.
Okay.
Oh, that's a 4. 4 and a 2.
Okay. 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 Just checking my dude.
You guys are awesome. This is great.
So yeah, you lean forward and you hear all around the room as weapons are drawn on both sides of you. And Cregan seems to shrink back a little bit. Are you
I believe
threatening?
it's our choice whether or not to leave. We have our free will.
We run the city.
But you don't control our actions.
Very well. Continue reporting to us. You can continue to earn your credits. You may leave.
And then you see where Ela's like, would you like to leave, Ode? Would you like to leave, Tosh? Like basically like she's hinting again that their actions are their own. So she's making that clear. And then she looks directly and gives like it's kind of a glare, like a squinty glare at Cregan.
Do you have to answer?
Sure. and Ode will like grab the other side of Ela's outfit.
Tosh will dispel their manifestation, but you see them with their mask up for once, staring daggers at this guy now that Ela has hulked out, ready to get froggy if anyone hurts Ela. Almost immediately.
Barrel blinks and turns to look at Cregan, and Cregan's just glaring back. It's like the lip quivers. Then go. Get out now. While you can.
Bad kitty. He just puts his mask back and says, ready.
Now we will leave. Try to show some respect next time. And then she's going to turn around while like kind of adjusting her bracers, and then she's going to like then slowly start to leave. So she's really milking this, like basically, I wish you would try and see what would result from this. So she's emitting that kind of like, don't mess with Ela and her babies who aren't really her babies, and then walking out.
And
as you
Ode,
turn-
Ode will like be the hype man and just go, yeah.
as you turn, Ode, give me. Are you going to maintain the light, or are you letting it?
I mean, sure. I just for the sake of it, do I maintain it? Yes, I do.
All right.
Just
So
shining it around.
yeah. As you turn your back though and move it, you turn the light towards the steps. So you can see where you're going. The candle goes out behind you, and the only light now is from Ode. And you just sort of feel this group presence around you as you make the stairs and start to ascend. First Foundation, at this point, are you still working, or have you decided to break away?
No, they would have broken away. They got a little bit of information about this sort of ramping up of multiple defensive positions. So I think that's good enough for now. So they're gonna go try to
Okay.
find their friends.
All right. So you come back across the road. Go ahead and give me a called roll body to see if you can spot those berries.
I have a 3 and a 2, and I don't have body as a discipline, so I cannot use primacine. So
Okay. So you're looking around, and you're not exactly sure where your friends went to. But as you are kind of standing around a little bit lost, it's after a little bit they reappear. Group, are you moving back then to where you were before? Mm-hmm. And someone calls out your name, and you see them approaching.
hello.
Well, you missed quite the scene, my
Oh.
friend. I tried to leave a little hint of where we were, and then Ela's gonna try to point over. Like, there's probably like a little like trail of like berries, like
Actually,
randomly.
what you see is a little group of swee hens are picking them off the
Picking them off the ground. Perfect. That's even better.
A little catcher mouse is like carrying one between its little paws and scurrying off behind a crate.
Well, that was the best trail that I could leave. I definitely forgot that. Yeah, there's going to be hungry creatures that probably would like the berries just as much as we do.
Did you gather information?
I don't know. I think we got threatened and told we should leave the city.
Yes, that's pretty much how that played out with the barrow. Is that it? This barrow?
Well,
it took
Cregan
us
was
to
the
meet with Cregan.
mean one.
And then he tried to intimidate and failed at that because obviously.
Of course.
And then even though, yes, it was quite stressful. I don't usually try to, I don't know, be overbearing or aggressive, but when people push me like that individual did, then they see a whole other side of Ela.
Yeah, he was a bully.
But that was very stressful nonetheless. And you see where there's like a little bit of like perspiration that she kind of like wipes off because she was trying to like maintain that intimidating factor. But she's not really like that.
Well,
So,
I'm
I mean,
glad you're okay.
I don't know. He seemed to want to know who we were working for and kept insisting that we give that information. I was trying to make sure that we weren't suspected of spreading rumors, or at least certain types of rumors, and to the best of my ability. But I mean, it seemed like he knew that there were recipes being thrown around, and he wanted to see how far the recipes have gotten.
Well, he didn't want us to like gossip about the mayor. I think the governor.
The governor, yeah.
And he didn't want us to collect rumors about the governor. But then he said leave the city and find rumors about the governor.
Which was contradictory to that whole statement he made prior.
Sounds to this one that this Cregan made an attempt to set us on, what do they call that, a wild Sweehen chase?
That's correct. Yep, pretty much.
To get
While
us out
also
of the
too-
picture?
Yeah, and there
perhaps?
were other people in the shadows, and again, thanks to Ode, was able to kind of brighten up the area so we could see that obviously there were other people listening in on the conversation, and who knows what else would have happened.
Is it safe to assume then that Barrow and Cregan are part of this cabal that is helping to protect whatever version of the governor now sits on the throne?
At least it seems that way, in my opinion, especially with the aggression behind his demeanor.
He did say that he owns the city, or they own the city. So that
Exactly.
seems to be that he's happy with how the power structure of the city is currently working.
My concern now is that we have marked ourselves with this faction of the poison Sweehan, and
Well,
perhaps they will attempt to hurt us.
Well, at least I got the scent off of Gudla's trail, so to speak, that Gudla has any knowledge of what's going on other than just trying to check in on a friend, because that was another one of his questions. But I was convincing enough with part of the truth. So, well, he knows, at least he should have gotten that notion that he shouldn't mess with us, because obviously I can handle things, being my size and my strength, and now I have my grandmother's bow. So I would like to see him try, and I've seen everything that we do as a group, so I'm pretty sure that we can take care of ourselves.
Yeah, I tried really hard not to lose my shit because I was gonna light him on fire.
I
But
can
I
feel
thought
that from you. Yes.
maybe not. It wasn't the time.
This is a
Not yet,
growth moment
anyway.
for you, Ode, to
Thank
rein
you.
in your instinct in such a manner. I'm
Thank
proud
you
of
for
you.
recognizing.
I hid.
And
A
that's
good
okay.
option, a very good option.
I will be your shield as usual. So no worries. If you don't want to fight, you don't have to fight. Um, I'll be with you guys to make sure that no harm comes to you.
Thanks,
I
Ela.
No
I
problem.
made contact with the Wotan working on the palisade. As we already know, the infrastructure is being reinforced. There are plans for additional security measures. It seems as though the governor is expecting perhaps some sort of attempt to take what is his currently, whether that is through the generally peaceful transfer of power between the governor, the old governor, and the new, or some external force. It is unclear to this one. But there is a sense that this one now has that Stone Shaper's purpose may have hidden components to it that even their own workers are unaware of.
I see. I wonder if I don't know, this Cregan wants to try to, that's why he asked about Gudla, if he wants to try to take power of this area, or at least he thinks that he is in control. Made some deal with the Starnum and or something along those lines. I'm not quite sure.
Do you think that maybe, like, if the Starnum leaves, that it's gonna give power to this Cretan person? Because, I mean, he can't walk around in a corpse forever, right? Like, it doesn't smell good.
Or maybe agreed to be the next host. Who knows? Especially, it seems like Cregan is desperate for power. When people are desperate for power, they'll do unimaginable things to obtain it. So it's definitely a possibility, or at
Don't
least
you
some. I don't know.
have to be dead to be a human? I mean, we're not a human, but to be a bipedal host?
I'm gonna ask out of character. Is that a thing? I forgot the details.
No, that's no problem.
Can you be
So
living and still be a host?
yes. However, there are two ways to approach it. The Starnum may force inhabitation on a sentient creature temporarily, but the sentient creature can fight back and force them out, or the manifestation will end naturally. Or a Starnum can inhabit a sentient creature that allows it. The problem for the sentient creature is they lose autonomy at that point. They have no voice, they have no control over their body until they take it back. The Starnum controls everything, but they are linked. They can communicate if they wish. So there are a couple of ways that a living host can be inhabited by a Starnum.
Would they obtain their powers?
No, the Starnum can bestow their abilities on the host, and they get the benefit. They get the mundane benefits of the host, similar to what the Lamplat can do when they creature morph.
Mm-hmm.
So they have control of the body, but the disciplines stay with the Starnum that is inhabiting. And the inhabited does not have control of those things until they regain control of their form.
This one wonders what incentive a power-hungry individual like Cregan would have to allow for an other entity to inhabit their body like that. It doesn't quite add up to this one. But there is perhaps some agreement that allows this underworld figure to maintain that grip on the city, given the relationship with the current governor. If your cousin came into power, perhaps that agreement would be no more.
Knowing Gula's character, she wouldn't stand for anyone who doesn't care about the people and their well-being, but only focuses on themselves and what they have to gain, be it wealth or a power. That's never been her focus. At times, she didn't even seem like she wanted to necessarily take the mantle as governor because she enjoys being with the Reclaimers, but I think she's now come to terms with the fact that it's necessary. And she'd be a great leader at that. Definitely better than this Cregan.
I mean, if
I
he
don't
was
like him.
if
I
he
don't
was
like
gonna
him.
be a really good leader, he could have just, like gone out in the streets and said like, "Hey, you should elect me, and I will be the next leader of this town." And yeah, he's not doing that, is he?
Well, I don't think anyone would vote for him anyway. Not with that attitude.
We were told to go north to find more people to see what they think about it.
I think
Oh,
that's his way of getting us out of Dodge in order to do whatever plans that they have.
yeah,
I
it's a
don't know if
trick.
that's good.
Oh.
Bad people will try to lead you astray. So don't be deceived, Tosh.
Hmm.
What do you think we should do, First Foundation?
Perhaps there is a way to convince the governor or those in charge of the governor's safety to, under the guise of protection, take the governor into the protective confines of those manifestation blocking cells if there was some credible threat against the governor. I
We
don't
need
know.
evidence. We need evidence. No one will believe us if we don't get someone to believe us. All we need to do is prove that the governor is dead, and then Ela's cousin can swoop in.
If we were able to encourage the governor to close proximity, perhaps, with the grub, that has a dampening effect on manifestation power. Perhaps that would force the starnum from the governor's body. And if there were witnesses to this event that were not part of this cabal, perhaps that could convince enough people to allow for
All
your
right.
cousin to ascend.
Ty. Oh, sorry.
I have a plan and it involves birds.
Perfect.
All right. If we can get into a general proximity of both the governor and this dampening creature, and then we release just a ton of birds,
Like
maybe we can make the creature freak out and run.
Or better yet, use Tosh's holes underneath the creature to end up in the governor's room, so to speak, or
Oh, that's a good one.
proximity. Is that possible?
Oh, that was the question. Ty, what is the limitation of Dimension Door? Can Tosh push people through Dimension Door? What is
So-
that limitation?
The concept of dimensional doorways is that it literally opens up into another realm. That's not what you're looking
Ah.
for. What you're looking for is something like a portal that opens
Portal,
between
yeah.
physical spaces. You yourself can teleport, and you can bring one with you if you roll well enough.
Can I force one with me?
Yes, I would say you could force someone with you. They would get a challenge roll.
Now, another question.
Mhm.
If I push someone into a dimensional door and close it, can I open that door somewhere else and pull them back in?
What we could probably navigate something like that depending on the situation.
Yeah.
Typically what would happen is if you opened up a dimensional doorway and physically shoved someone through it and then closed it, they are in that dimension for the duration of the manifestation, at which point they would then return.
Oh, you're
Is it like
thinking
a
of the
pocket
governor
dimension?
going
So
to the.
I can't use it like a bag of portal.
Hold.
Yeah. Oh, like instead of me, my option was like the more complicated, the creature being sucked to and then just falling into the governor's face.
Actually,
Yours is actually more sense because it's like governor being close.
Actually, I don't know why we're doing this. This is Lamar speaking.
Yeah.
Why doesn't Tosh just grab Ela, teleport us in front of the bloody governor, have them beefcake out and drag his ass down to the jail
Disruptor
cell and shove him against that thing? Or back here where the bug is.
Yeah, the disruptor
'Cause
grub.
you don't need to use your manifestation just to be strong, right? Because that thing just keeps manifestations down. Because as soon as we get to the bars, most of us are going to be useless. Tosh is going to be completely useless. So Ela, grab him, drag him.
Their plan is kidnap.
Yep, kidnap the governor.
If you thought we were the good guys, I don't know what game you've been playing. But I think that's an idea. I'll go back to Tosh. I can teleport Ela to the governor. She could forcibly take him to either the bug or downstairs, and that should cause many issues.
Well,
Let me clarify a couple things real quick before the time goes too far down the road.
Please.
Darn it!
Your teleport is a range based on your evolution. So with a standard success, you could teleport half of your, or you could teleport your movement range, your movement in feet, which is 32. Or with a high success, you could go 64. So that's the range you can cover teleporting from one spot to another. Your idea of opening up a a dimensional doorway and then stepping out from that doorway by passing through that other world to another location is interesting. And that is something you could try to do. The main risk there is what will you encounter between going in and coming out? And that depends on, yeah.
I mean, he does have me, so I guess we're like, we could just
That is
fight our
technically
way.
Nightcrawler rules. If y'all played if y'all
Yes,
followed
yes, it
X-Men,
is,
technically
it
that's
is.
how Nightcrawler works. It's up to y'all. To me, I could game mechanic it so that. Another question, Ty. Oh, sorry. You gave me powers, and I need to understand them. Hush, and all the other silence effects. Is there a way that I can make Hush a area of effect, so
Yes.
that if the four of us are trying to move through or stealthily intercept something, that I can make all of us quiet or harder to see, flip-flopping between as I try?
So as an affected area, what you're doing there is you are hushing the zone, and then you pass through it, and it's
Shut up.
quiet. Yeah,
No,
it's
no.
not on you; it's the area.
Okay, so pretend that Tosh is vomiting all this information about what they can do. So we can either dimension door all of us, really, possibly through, see what's in the other side. You might see a little bit more of Tosh's world, and then dimension door back into the governor's room. We could try to stealthily, with a whole bunch of hopefully good rolls, get inside undetected, which should be easier since it'll be quiet. Or we could set the building on fire. Hopefully someone runs out, tackle them, and put them in. Anyway, I
Owen's
think the
attention with that
idea
one.
of getting the governor to either the bug or the bars is the ultimate goal that I see. Please come up with something else. Because
I mean,
that's the end goal, I think, right?
yeah, I think.
Okay, so
think getting
I
them to
like
the
the building on
bug.
fire, and then Tosh, you kidnap the governor, and then Ela ties him up, and
Well,
done.
I mean, I guess technically, because the governor's not the governor, I can't ask for consent. I don't know how that works.
Kidnapping is
The governor is not living anymore.
But I guess consent is not a thing in this situation, because usually, when you're picking someone up or dragging them someplace, that's, yeah.
Try to
Well,
ask.
do you think that the governor would want his body to be used as a meat puppet after his death?
Yeah, probably not. So,
So therefore, you are helping the governor with his wishes about how his body is used.
Indeed.
See how
but then now, which of these very interesting options Tosh presented us with, which one are we taking? I think that burning down, I mean, that could lead to a lot of places burning. I'm not sure, like neighboring houses, perhaps.
well, like my fire
innocent
does
animals.
seem to disappear after a couple of seconds.
Oh, controlled fire. Yes, I forgot that that's
Right.
a thing.
So, I mean, it'll be damaged, but it'll just like boop, like go out.
Unless there is a manifesting event.
Wait, didn't they bring a tornado with them?
At which point
Wait.
the entire city burns to the ground.
Ty, didn't the foreclaimers bring the tornado with them?
The Wotan did. The
The
Wotan
Wotan.
boxed up the tornado that Ode created because it got left behind and brought it with him. So it's over there somewhere in the camp.
They brought the tornado.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They did
I like
in a
that.
box. Tornado in a box.
So we could create a hell of a distraction. Lower the
Or we could
amount.
just- yeah, we could just release
My only question is that with all of this chaos and possible violence towards this meat puppet,
And destruction.
we know is a pawn of the Starnum, so I'm not opposed to that, but will the people believe us with all of this duress surrounding what we do? We cannot wager the goodwill of the people in this effort, or they will not believe us.
It's a very
It
good
would-
point.
Based on what I understand about the rules of this city, for Ela's cousin to become the head, all we need to do is establish that the governor is dead. So unless someone else planted the Starnum, as soon as the Starnum is gone, the problem will be gone.
And we
Or-
may be in jail.
Is it possible? Like, is there like a truth teller here or somebody who can read minds that, like, we could have them go in and read his mind, and then people would be like, "Oh, we believe you." Is that a thing?
If the fake governor is dead, if the real governor appears, he would be able to establish that he's been kidnapped or asleep. Either way, the false one will be dead. That is the goal.
But all right, let's just say that we get the governor to leave, or sorry, the Starnum to leave the governor, and then we're there with the governor's corpse, and everybody runs in, and we're like, "See, he's dead," and they say, "You."
That is exactly what we want to avoid, Tosh.
It could look then as if Goodla was involved in perhaps the governor's death and caused trouble with the transfer of power. We
Because
need to
I'm her
think of
direct relative and I would
buffering
be
her
by-
from this. Yes.
Run?
No, we can't in this situation. Can't run
Well-
away from all the problems, unfortunately. Especially not one this big.
Are there any other ways to make a Starnum leave a host?
Give them a more enticing host. Perhaps
Somebody,
wagering.
give me a lore roll, and we'll see what you know about Starnum.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, I have nothing in lore, so I can't pull this.
Double fours, baby!
Yay, let's
Yeah.
go.
Oh, I got double fours as well.
Oh, yay, thank God. I was waiting. I was like, I have no knowledge of this
Oh,
whatsoever. Thank
Okay.
goodness.
All right. So the lore on the Starnum is that they generally cannot long-term inhabit a living sentient creature without that creature's permission. They can long-term inhabit animals that are very, very weak, like sweet hens and catcher mice and things like that. If the creature is, if it's actually a corpse, like you're suspecting, then they can inhabit that indefinitely, but they can't stop its decay. It's just a vessel.
Mm-hmm.
So if the governor's still alive, for as long as, if your theory is correct, for as long as this facade has been going on, then the governor's allowing it. If the governor is dead, then there's no time frame. But the way to get a Starnum out is either for the host to kick them out, to fight them away and kick them out, the manifestation to end, or you beat them out of their host.
Do
But
they
by
have
beating,
a physical body? Like, when we beat the crap out of this thing, will it manifest as its own body?
so Starnum are referred to as ghosts in their natural form
Damn
because
it.
they are semi-corporeal plasma forms, but they do have some physicality.
Yeah, but not enough for us to prove that we saved the
I mean,
governor.
what if I made the Starnum really confused, or like I mentally attacked him? Like, could it push him out?
There's probably a possibility, based on what the other two are telling you about what the Starnum do, but they warn you that the Starnum are all about the mind. So they are a formidable mind opponent.
Have any of you heard the old fable, The Governor's New Clothes?
I'm a
Perhaps
few cycles old, so no.
if the governor is indeed dead, as we suspect, and has been for some time, the decomposition of the biological body must be in an advanced state. Knowing what we know, Tosh, of our intimate and extensive knowledge that we demonstrated of the Starnum, perhaps if the governor were derobed, it would reveal the decomposition of the body.
That's probably the best way at this point. So then that way we don't implicate ourselves for something that we obviously didn't do.
But we still need to get to the governor. And to do that, our current plan is illegal.
Current plan is to de-pants the dead governor, basically.
But at least it's not beating him senseless or burning down, things.
The palace.
Yeah. I feel like it's the lesser of evils, so to speak.
Actually, based on the memory that I just had about these particular things, it would actually probably be easier to beat the crap out of him than to drag him downstairs.
So
The goal is to defeat the thing within them.
But isn't it the proof as far as showing that he's not alive, and then we can beat? But it has to be before everyone else so they can see that he's dead, and then we can beat the Sternum out of him.
That's a new phrase for everybody.
Starnum
out of you.
Sternum out of Okay.
Bravo.
No, you get what I'm saying? So basically,
No, I
out
feel
of character, we basically pants the governor in front of everyone, and then they see, wait, that's a dead man, and then we beat said dead man and beat the Sternum out of him.
That bug, the abilities of that bug, is it an innate ability or is that a manifested ability of the bug? I'm gonna skip something, because if we by chance rip one of the legs off of the bug and put it into an arrow and shoot it in the vicinity of the governor, that should cause its effect to happen if it is innate of the bug, I'm thinking. If it's a manifestation, then the bug needs to be alive. But if it's just a part of its body, it could happen.
Along those lines, what if do any of us have the power to reduce the size of the bug, and then we launch it into the governor's chambers, where it then
that was what I originally was saying. Like somehow get the bug in the chambers.
First Foundation, what happened to you when you oh god, because I could do that actually. It's just that if I do it wrong, it's gonna hurt like sin.
make it very tiny.
Nope, just teleport it. Teleport it in there.
There we go.
Maybe I could cast Mind Shield on you, and then you could do it.
That would probably help. Because I don't know if you guys know what a primacy is, but I have 12 of them.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Neither do I, but
Never
I
heard of
have
this thing.
so much willpower to make this a thing.
I can
That
shoot,
even
I can
if-
throw. Just let me know how all that will work.
We might need you to wrestle this thing down. If you mind shield me, Ode, and then I teleport the bug into the chambers. Small panic, but also it would solve the problem in front of everybody.
We're just gonna throw a bug at him.
A large bug.
I mean,
This is
we've
Ty's
already
fault. I
said
need
that
you
we're
know
going
that
to
this is your
derobe
fault.
the governor. This is what happens.
It's just how.
Okay.
At
I'm
this
gonna
point, it's just how.
Let me step in real quick.
Yes, please.
Just as by means of recap of the goal, Tosh has. I'm not recapping your plan. Tosh has identified the objective of being to find evidence, and that was what Gudla asked you to do. So that track is so far on point. The experiments of working with bugs you don't completely understand and manifestation entry and things like that would be very interesting. So we'll see where you come up from there. At this point, the party has taken a good part of the morning to work on a plan and is sort of struggling around, but keeping in mind that objective, because it helps Gudla, if you can find evidence, ultimately to help build allyship. So even if you can't ultimately get to the governor, it's information for allies, right? Who can bring maybe forces to the town. Now, you also have a full contingent of Wotan who are sympathetic to the governor in the town. So there are a lot of forces at play here. So think about that. We are, however, well past the break point. So let's take a break. Let some of this marinate for a few minutes. We can come back and see ultimately how you would like the rest of this evening to go as you try to reveal the emperor's new clothes, the governor's new clothes.
So close.
So great. We'll take a quick break. I just want to say before we do that, I was just thinking of what I was going to say. We have a giveaway. So !drawing to get in on the giveaway. Adventure Slang Productions has donated a digital copy of the Nuovarden core rulebook to give away. Thank you, Ty and Adventure Slang. If you're not already on the email list for Adventure Slang Productions, please go over to their website, join the email list, get some free assets for your virtual tabletop gameplay, and we will be back in 5 short minutes. We'll see you then. And we are back, everybody. Welcome back to Guild Superior. I'm Dave, and these are my friends. We're playing Nuovarden. We are up to our neck in logistics right now, trying to figure out what we're gonna do. I'm gonna hand it over to Ty. Ty, tell us what the heck is going on here.
So at this point, the group has observed a large entourage of Wotan, referred to as the First Fulfillment, come into Akshalo, set up camp outside the governor's residence, and begin reinforcing the palisade and the structure, the defensive measures for the governor's residence. Gudla, the leader of the Goodwill Reclaimers and cousin to Ila in the party, has decided to go to Shanlock Harbor and try to recruit allies in the event that there needs to be more of a confrontation with the city regarding the nature of the government's situation. The group then was left to try to find evidence that supports the suspicion that the governor's not who they seem to be or who they were supposed to be. Throw in there that the poison Sweehens yoinked the group aside and started questioning them, and after a tense exchange, left things at an impasse about who was supposed to be doing what and whose side who is on and all that sort of thing. The member of the governor's council named Cregan initially tried to intimidate the party and was not successful. Suggested that they leave town to procure information from other areas. Was not successful in that either. The party saw that as a ruse and decided that they would leave things status quo, with the party reporting any sort of new recipes to the pie merchant to inform Barrow, also a member of the Poison Sweehens. The group has since then been spending the better part of the day trying to create some sort of plan to get access to the governor to try to reveal the nature of who they actually are, and is struggling a little bit about the best way to do it and not risk Gudla's reputation as the incoming governor should things not go quite according to plan. But as we know, that these plans always work out. Okay, or not, but that's where we're at. So the group collectively has been set up on the side of the street, watching what's going on over at the governor's residence and planning something. Group, where are we at with our plan?
So are we going into the governor's compound then, in search of this evidence?
Okay, all right. Here's my plan. All right. Ela turns into a robber pigeon, and then Tosh grabs her, and they blip inside the building, and then Tosh releases a whole bunch of like summoned robber birds, and then Ela as a bird takes off towards the nurse's room, and she goes to find the nurse's notes about what's happening to the governor, and then she steals those. And while everybody's running around trying to get the Sweehens, then Ela escapes and with the evidence. Right?
Mhm.
I hate that that's the most plausible idea we've had so far. I really do.
It's a
Yes.
combination of all of our plans combined into one chaotic
I hate
plan.
that.
It's
Yep.
amazing.
So how about we do this? Let's do that, and then first foundation, you can kind of work with your people and see if you can sneak in just by being a part of them. You already have good relationship with these people, and then
And there'll be a big distraction happening.
and also Ela, can you just hold this for a second? And Tosh pulls out like the tarp of a tent. Just hold this over me really quick. And Tosh is going to change out of their normal dark blue robes and stuff, and will put on a regular Exia robe, and with their eyes revealed, and will kind of move their hair to the other side. So you see like what, it's still Tosh, but like they're dressed more like their people. You can call me Ted.
Looking good, Ted.
All right.
The void has meaning. Anyway, yes, Ela becomes a bird. I take myself and Ela to the governor's mansion. We release birds. Ela starts to search. I hide because I can be invisible and quiet. And then when Ela's done, they can come back to me. And then I can come back to you. And you two, your job is to, if you hear screaming, that sounds like me, help.
Of course, we will. And might I add, Tosh, your eyes are beautiful.
Yes, I've been hypnotized by them this whole time. That's why I'm smiling.
They're like two mini voids.
Swirling voids, I might add.
Yes, there is clear meaning in the void. And that meaning is meaningful.
Okay, so what bird
Well
am
said.
am I going to?
I
shift?
can add Sweehan. Nope, that's not the
Robber
right bird.
Pigeon.
I can do robber pigeons. So if you can,
Do robber pigeons exist in this world?
And they
Mhm.
steal
Yeah.
things.
Do?
Yep.
Yeah.
and
okay.
I can manifest more robber pigeons. So it's not just you.
This is a solid
Okay.
plan.
Yes, let's do it.
That's why I was like, I hate that this is actually the
This
most
is the only.
solid plan
Listen,
we've
at
had.
this point, we're just gonna make it work.
But the goal
Let's
is not
go.
to take the governor. The goal is to find notes
Yes.
and
Yes.
stuff
From his nurse.
from his nurse, from anything, as
Office,
we can find
anything.
necrotic blood stuff, anything that might point, or a letter from him that says, you know what's delicious? Dead bodies. Anything.
All right. Let's. I think we should do this. How far do you need to, or how close, rather, do you need to be to his home? To
I'm
do the
going to dimension door us, so not close at all.
All right. And then on that note, Ela will attempt to make herself into one of these lovely robber pigeons. So there's going to be that shifting and that crack of her bones as she's shifting her shape, and the feathers start to protrude from her skin, and she is now a sweet little robber pigeon person.
All right. We won't make you roll for it because you'll get there. However, so Tosh, you were wanting to open a dimensional doorway, which is a pretty noticeable thing. So where do you want to do that from? And I will also add that on a success, you open up a dimensional doorway, but you don't know the dimension. On a high success, you can choose.
Okay, so the first thing Tosh is going to do is take Bird Elo and put her into his pocket. And he'll say, whatever you do, Bird Elo, don't look out of the pocket until we're back. Okay. And Tosh will look at First Foundation Ode.
Well, first foundation could manifest like a barrier to block the view, right? Because this is going to be pretty noticeable. Ty, you were saying
Yeah, so will a sudden
wall.
popping up of a wall.
Good point. Good point.
If it doesn't matter where we are, we could go back to the alley that we followed Bird Brain and do it there.
You know that that's a fairly secure place.
Let's do that. So Tosh will walk that way. First Foundation, can you shoot the wall just in case? Very good. Goodbye,
And-
my friends.
And I would like to cast or manifest on Tosh that mind shield before he does this, just in case.
Probably
Okay.
a good idea.
Ah,
All right.
Probably the best idea we've had.
It's gonna work. This is gonna work, you
I'm
guys.
going to use a fortune's favor to reroll. Okay, that's a 4.
All right.
Okay.
We also have
Okay,
one
so you
group, just so everybody knows, we do have one group Fortune's Favor as well to use from the chat. Thank you,
Perfect.
guys. Yep.
All right. Let's see how well this goes.
Okay, so I'm gonna have you roll to see what you can determine. What'd you get?
I have 2 3s. I'm going to bump one of those up to a 4 for a
All right.
success.
All
But
right.
it is not a critical success.
Right. So
So
you
we're
don't
gonna-
know where you're going,
No.
but you open the doorway, and the rest of you see this other environment beyond. And knowing that it's not going to last very long, you step through with Pigeonilla in your pocket.
Mhm.
Right. As you step through, First Foundation and Ode, are you hanging out here? Are you hanging back? Is that the idea, or do you have some other ideas that we need to come back to?
We can come back. That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Have fun storming the castle. All right. I'm done.
Oh, this is going to be so silly.
It's gonna work. It's gonna work great.
It's going to be a thing. It's going to be a thing.
Okay.
I totally realized I chirped as a pigeon. I forgot. Did they just hoot? Like, what?
They're robber pigeons, so it's like, wherever your money.
Stick 'em up. Stick 'em up.
They do rob, so.
That is true.
Okay, I'm reading the detail here.
And you pop inside of a volcano.
Oh no. Is that a possible thing?
Different dimension. I could meet the devil. We don't know.
All right. You step through, and as the doorway closes behind you, you find yourself in a realm that, looking up at the sky, it seems that there is a void of sorts, but there is motion, and there's a sky crystal very far away, and it seems to just rapidly grow dimmer, but it never goes out. And you suddenly get it's not a sensation, but it's a perception that everything is falling. But there's no gravitational effect or anything like that. And you stand on a platform that surrounds for a great distance around a massive sort of pit. And all around the walls of the pit are tunnels and some structures, and there are fungi that grow all around. And you see motion of figures that remind you a lot of the Wotan, but they're various sizes, and a lot of them have clearer sort of clockwork mechanisms. And they seem to just move about with on their own purposes, and you don't see anything that indicates that they're the people. You do see other forms, however, of a vaguely Wotan-like people. They're thin and tall like the Selku, but they don't look like Selku. They don't have the same physical appearance other than that lean tallness, kind of gaunt, but more. These people seem more made of earth material, or more. Again, they remind you of Wotan, but they're not they're not Wotan. There's some differences that you can't even really identify. And they just move around the edge of this pit that is, again, full of tunnels and holes and things like that. And then this darkness in the middle, and this weird idea that this whole realm is falling. And you move some distance through, and give me another roll to come out.
It's not advantage. It is
Primacy? Primacy?
Nope. I need more than that.
Fortunes.
Reroll. Yeah, I'm gonna use that one.
The fortune's favor.
Fortune's favor! Because I rolled 2 2s. So we're gonna use that really quick. There we go. That's a 4 and a 3.
Okay.
And I will use the primacy to make sure I land where I want to.
Okay, excellent. Nicely done.
Because those are 2 2s, and we were going to end up.
Well, you live there now.
I guess I'll find meaning in the void now.
But Ela's with you, so I mean, Ted's happy.
Birdie. Or as I like to call him,
Ted.
Bila. Tosh is adorable and will be adorable to the day he dies. Or a problem. Both are valid statements.
Why not both?
Why not both?
Ooh.
Hashtag Bila.
Sly Sparrow, thanks for a recharge point on primacy for Tosh.
Yeah!
Yeah!
Nice. Good timing.
Yeah!
Primacy point, baby.
Put that back. Going to need it.
All right.
Wait, am I?
I'm going to move you to a new map.
Am I supposed to be rolling 3 dice? Am I
Nope.
in it? Oh, okay.
Nope.
Oh, that's what that is. That's sorry. No, ignore me. Ignore me.
Interestingly enough, the dice gods have been favorable to you. If Tosh and Ela will move your avatars to roll 20. Oh, did I move you over to the map? I think I did. Yes.
Oh, my.
Oops. That.
I can't believe he was actually prepared for us to make this stupid plan.
A reality.
Ela, are you on the map?
I'm having trouble again. I don't do a lot of Roll20 action.
Okay, so if you go
I'm
to your
not sure how
character-
to do that.
go to your character image in the newspaper section, click on the name and drag it over to the map.
Am I
There you are.
Yay, okay. Thank
And then you
Okay.
can click and drag it down to where Tosh is.
I'm assuming that's where we land.
Wherever you want to be on that. Okay.
There they are.
Well, isn't this interesting?
And it's very interesting.
This very long hallway ends at a wall on the west end, but is open to the east. Doors in the north and south walls face across from each other.
Crap. Do any of these doors look more important than the other?
No, they are the same design. And we should also probably note that it is the middle of the day, so.
Ah, shit. Okay. Well, the first thing Tosh is going to bring Bila out of his robes.
Okay.
Okay. Hi, Bila. So all I can say is we are in a mansion that I believe belongs to the governor.
Ooh, ooh.
I'm proud of me too. Anyway, before I release all your new friends, I just need to figure out which door to go to. So I know I'm proud of me too.
So, Ela, you're trying to hold your form.
Yes.
Let's go ahead and check that.
Shit.
Yeah. This is exactly why I said this is
At least she's out of your pocket now.
yes, a 4 and a 2.
Oh, thank God.
All right. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So there's a door there and a door across from it.
Let's go to the east.
Okay.
Okay.
I just want to listen inside.
Good.
Yep.
Make called roll body.
Bila's gonna be on your shoulder, by the way.
Crap.
What'd you get?
As a 2 and a 1.
Do you want to re-roll? Do you want to bump the 1 to a 2 for recovery?
Oh, I'll re-roll. Yeah, that's what, 2 primacy?
2 primacy for 1 die.
Oh yeah, no, I'll do that all day, every day.
All right.
Did not matter. That is a 2.
Okay. So you don't hear anything.
I'm going to listen to the one across.
All right. You cross over the hallway and give it a listen.
Yep, because metagaming would be to continue to try to listen. That's a 4 this time.
Okay. You also hear nothing on that side.
God darn it. Well,
Moment of truth.
I'm going to open the door to the east slowly.
Okay. You open the door and peek inside.
Definitely didn't pick it because it has more surface area. Damn it!
This long hallway is dimly lit at both ends. 2 doors line the left wall, and one door the south wall, and one door marks the north wall. There are no other obvious exits.
North wall, listen, rolling. That's a 4. Thank God. 1 and a 4.
You hear substantial conversation coming from that side of the door. I would say substantial enough that you can pick out the governor's voice because you have heard it before. You recognize that low rasping.
Okay. I just want to listen to the south real quick. Let's see what I get. That's 4 and 2.
Actually, there's no door there. Where's my pointer? It's there.
4 and a 2.
Okay. Let me double check on that. You listen, and you do not hear anything beyond that door.
Okay. So we're going to go back to the north door. The first thing we're going to do is manifest hush in this area. So let's roll this. That's a 3 and a 1. Going to use the primacy to bump that up to a 4.
All right.
So down to 9.
You hush a 12-foot area, and as soon as so you're just hushing the other side of the door?
Yeah.
Okay. As soon as you do, those voices go silent.
Yep. The goal is to open the door just enough so that Ela and all of her brand new friends can flow through the door.
Okay. Very good. You open the door, and that was something I'm not as well prepared for, so let me get some things set up.
Oh, you thought that I was not going to do the thing?
Everything was going fine. And then we'll do it this way.
Chaos.
All right.
Oh gosh, thanks for the raid, Prometheus 2128. We appreciate you guys raiding in just in time for the Chaos Squad here.
Welcome to Chaos.
Welcome.
Welcome in, welcome in.
And we'll also do...
Hey, thanks for the resub. You guys are awesome.
that
Thank you so much.
All right. So you hush, you hear the conversation go suddenly quiet. And then you hear another voice go, "What's wrong, Governor?" And you hear other voices, "Stone Shaper, your voice has dropped." And as you open that door, we'll just throw on the lights.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I really messed up. Oh my God. Okay.
You see Darum Yalonk sitting with Stone Shaper. The pink dots are Wotan, so there are at least 4 Wotan in there. A guard comes around here with a look of concern. And I'm going to have to say that I need to check and see if they notice you or not. Ela, are you pigeoning into there, or are you?
That's Bila's gonna stick with the plan.
Okay.
So yes, Bila is Bilaing.
Bila!
I'm a horrible pigeon. I'm so sorry. I don't know
Okay.
what to
It's all good. I want you
Okay.
to know, Ty, that the plan was now not only release Bila, but to manifest more. So there's not like
Yeah.
one individual bird.
It's
and then,
duplicates of Bila, pretty
Yes.
much. Duplicates.
And then cast invisibility. That was the order of operations.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, all right. So
But
we
you,
will.
you give me the punishments I rightfully deserve.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's a little too dark. Okay.
Oh
This
my
isn't
God.
the nurse's room. Nope.
Ladies
far
and
from it.
gentlemen, our
Far
work
from
is cut out for us tonight. Okay, so you send in Bila. Bila, you go, except you don't, as soon as you hit the other side of the door, there's no sound to your wings. Let's go ahead and get our combat order set. So,
Oh boy.
okay, so Ela, I'm gonna automatically put you in first.
Okay.
And Tosh, Ted, you are second.
Gosh, Ted.
Let's go.
Oh, there's a little bird in there. I saw that. It's a little bird.
It's Bila. I just imagine First Foundation O going, I bet everything's going fine. This is
Yep. According to plan.
Yeah.
everything's going fine. You want to go get some ice cream? I hear pie's lovely in this town.
Well, Bila would be definitely cooing or whatever the pigeons do. Definitely more just stressfully. So however that sounds, just it's loud even though it's silent, but you could see the wings flapping like no. She's Bila's freaking out in Bila form.
Oh,
So
I'm
good.
going to give you control of that bird, Bila.
Yes.
Okay, so you are first, and this round, your manifestation will end unless you use one of your actions to maintain it. So, what would
I
you like
am
to do?
Definitely going to try to maintain this for sure.
Okay.
Not popping out of this thing. No.
All right, 1 or 2
yes.
dice.
I'm using 2 to make sure that
Okay.
I do not mess this up. 4 and a 2.
Okay.
There we go.
So, You go flittering
mia.
through silently. How far do you want to go? So you have a movement
Okay.
speed of so you have 32 feet, I believe, at least.
You also can ignore what Tosh has done. Fly your ass backwards if you want.
But the door is still closed on the other side, so it's not like she would get far. She would probably because is this where the guard just came from? Is that another room or like a door to another room or like an open door?
You've been in the council. You met with the governor once, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah. So actually go ahead and move yourself for perspective if you're going to move.
Okay.
Why don't we do that?
let
At
me
least
pull
part
up,
of your
yeah.
movement. Show me where you want to go to. You should be able to drag it. Yeah. Okay. All right. So keep track. You just moved to like 4 squares. So you still have.
Yeah. To see, yeah, basically because she's trying to see if there's another room that she basically like using the distractions that hopefully will happen of all of the birds coming through that door to basically try to enter whatever door is open to try to
Oh
go to
god
another
damn
room.
it. Oh, I really messed up. Why'd you let me do this? Oh,
It seemed like a
This
good
was-
plan at the time.
It did.
it really did.
I thought you would turn around when you heard the governor's voice.
Yeah, I did too. But you didn't.
Nope.
And
But I
Bila
did
has no hands, so Bila has to go wherever there's an open door because yeah.
So
Otherwise,
Bila, as you
yeah.
fly in, you remember being in here before, and you know that there's a
Okay.
curtain behind the main chair. You don't know what's behind the curtain, but you know that this is where the governor comes from when meeting with people.
Yes, she's going to fly in that direction, or at least as close as she can get. So, I believe.
4, 8, 12, 16. You have 32, so you have 8 more squares.
Okay. So from
No, you don't have
here,
8 more squares. You have 4 more squares.
so like here, I can end up like here, and that's safe.
You could even get. I think you could even get up to here or so.
There.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
That's exactly what I'm doing.
How high off the ground? Roughly 4 feet, 6 feet, 8 feet.
I would say how high is the ceiling because she's trying to not get swatted down.
About 10 feet
Yeah, she's gonna make sure that she's at least
up. Okay.
up. Yeah, she's flying as high as possible and as far as possible in
Okay.
this situation.
You still have 1 die, 1 action. As I recall, you holding the die, or do you want to do something else? Or you can spend that action and move the rest of. You can move your movement again, as a charge kind of.
Yeah, I will definitely do that. I'm getting out
Okay.
of dodge and trying
So
to also to get like basically go in to try to get whatever we can get at this
Okay.
point.
So I'm going to say I'm going to move you. You fly in through the curtain, right?
Yes.
And I'm going to say that the curtain slows you down a little bit, so you get just to the other side of it, and that's as far as you. Actually, no, you can go further, but so we'll put you about there, and I will reveal that room in. Well, you just got there, so
In a second, I guess.
let's see. No, we'll show you now. I want that. I want this. Dun, 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 dun.
Hey, I bet there's some
Ooh.
juicy gossip in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there we go.
Oh.
This is more like
Oh.
it. This is great.
Okay, that is the end of your turn, and you have spent all of your dice
Yep.
and used both actions and all your movement.
Yep.
Okay. So as you go flying by, you go flying over the head of this guard, who let that bird in here? And the other Wotan have converged on Stone Shaper. This one has moved toward the door. The door opens, and 2 more guards emerge from the other side of that in here. And Stone Shaper gets up and moves. 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, and stops shy of that guard as this Wotan posts up a defensive stance facing that guard. This Wotan follows. If I could, I just made him larger. There we go.
Good boy. Good boy.
And this one crosses over to about here as Yolonk stumbles back to about here. And they seem confused and a bit scattered about what's going on at the moment. So That's as far as everyone moves as they try to assess what's happened. And Tosh, it's your turn.
Okay. Now it's time for the birds.
Okay.
We're going to roll for the birds.
Roll for the birds and show me where you want them to appear at.
I'm first going to use a primacy to bring this 3 to a 4.
Okay, so with a single 4, you can bring in 3 more birds.
3 more birds. Okay.
Where do you want them?
I want bird 1 on the other side of this door. I want bird 2 on the other side of the table where Yolunk was. And the bird 3 to be close to the lamp inside the room closest to me. So on the same side of the door.
On your side?
Yes. No, on the other side.
Oh, okay. Like about there?
Yeah, there you go. Put them there.
All right. These birds fly in. You can maintain that hush or you can let it drop. You do have one more action, I believe.
My last action is to cast invisibility.
Okay, you have 1 die for that, I believe.
I do. And it was a 2. So that did not work. But that does not mean I cannot move.
You can also free action close the door if you want.
I'm free actioning closing the bloody door.
Okay.
Genius.
And then we'll stand. I can still move, right?
Yes,
I've not moved at all.
you can move 8
And-
squares.
1, 2, 3, 4. You know what? Ela's in there. No. 1, 2. Hide right behind the crux of the door. So when it opens, they have some chance of hiding.
Okay, and you are invisible. No,
I
you're
am
not invisible. Wait,
I'm not invisible.
You're
but
not
I
invisible.
have so many other things in my pocket,
okay.
like
That takes us back.
teleportation.
That takes us back to the top of the order. Ela, what do you want to do?
Okay, so in this room, I just need to try to figure out, is there I see that there's a bed, there seems to be a fireplace,
Mhm.
it looks like.
Mhm.
And I'm assuming this darker wooden area, is that a wardrobe or is that like a table or desk? Yes.
Are you gonna go over there and look at it?
I basically, like, because
It-
now Ela has entered, she's gonna try to look for something where it looks like there could be paperwork or other things
Okay.
to grab. Pretty much.
This is about a 6-foot tall 2x2 cabinet.
Ah, okay. So it's not like a desk.
No, it's a cabinet. Definitely a cabinet.
Okay. Yes. So you said it was 6 by what?
6 by 2x2. So 6 foot tall, 2 feet wide, 2 feet wide. 2 feet deep,
Okay.
2 feet wide.
Okay. So what we're gonna do? I'm gonna move to said wardrobe. If I needed to drop for a second in order to basically open this thing, can I do that?
So because it's a manifestation, it ends on its own accord. So it will end at the end of your turn unless you maintain it.
Okay.
When you flap over to that cabinet, I'll give you a better description of this whole room. A luxurious bedroom features a bed in the northwest corner, an elegant rug in the center, a hearth with a low fire on the north wall, an ornate antique cabinet sits against the south wall across the room from the hearth. You've passed through the heavy curtain. You see there's another door on the east wall. You notice a stench in this chamber of stagnant body waste and sickly sweet odor of decay.
Ooh, okay.
And then as you flap over to that cabinet, you see the following. No. There's an obvious keyhole in this chest or cabinet, and everything else looks closed or sealed or cohesive. Single
Okay.
keyhole.
Just a single keyhole. Let me see. And that was about how much of my movement? That was what?
It was most of it, I think. Most of your standard
Most of
movement.
it.
It was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You still have 2 squares worth that you can go.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do, because I'm probably gonna end up dropping or letting my manifestation drop, since I can't there's no way for me to get into this in my bird form. I'm
Mhm.
going to use that to get on the other side. So that way if someone comes in, hopefully, even if I change back to my form, you cannot see me, sort of.
Yeah. Okay. No problem. So do you actually want to hide yourself there?
Yes,
Go.
because
Okay.
I the next go round, I'm going to attempt to try to get this thing open.
Go ahead and make a call roll, body.
Will do. Okay. It's
Actually,
a 4 and a 1.
Yeah, that wouldn't have been a called roll. It would have just been your other die, but we'll give you the 4. That was my bad. So good. So just for your awareness, you are hidden as far as you know.
Yes. And I'm gonna
And
lower myself, like, basically to the ground
lower
when
yourself
that
down,
happens. So that
and
way when I
then
pop up, I'm not
you pop up and you return.
Yeah.
So go ahead and move your regular avatar there.
and I'm basically hiding behind this thing. So, like, even though it's not as tall as I am, I'm trying to hide my body as best as possible
Yeah.
on the other side.
You're
Wait,
crouched down. Gotcha.
Oh, do I have to drop? I have to drag my avatar back in here. Okay,
Yeah.
1 second.
And while you're doing that,
There we go.
Tosh, you're listening and you can hear the voices on the other side. Yalonk, where did these birds come from? And then Yalonk says, God, see what's behind that door. And Stone Shaper says, what sort of ranks are you pulling here, Governor? This is most unlike you. And Yalonk says, this was not me or any of my doing. Guards, if the Stone Shaper wishes to leave, let them go. And Stone Shaper says, I don't know what you're up to. We'll convene this meeting after you figure out your security issues. And Stone Shaper and crew leave.
We've created discourse within the parties.
That could be very good.
Chaos.
Could be very good.
And then you hear footsteps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the door opens. 6, 7. And let me see. That's a challenge roll. Guard steps in and looks right past you and down the hall and goes, that's as far as they go. And you hear more footsteps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. As the guards move in, and let me see. The governor is going to do something. That's not good. Need to check my stats on the governor.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh shit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Oh, Governor.
You sure you're 7 foot tall, Ela?
The governor says to the guard, where are you, Governor?
I've thought about my ways and am giving up.
Tosh,
Yeah.
go ahead and roll reprisal for me, which is 2d4. Let me know what you get.
Oh.
Okay. That's a 3 and a 2.
Okay.
Although,
All right. So the governor says, guards, get rid of these birds. Kill them. And Tosh, it's your turn. So actually, this one guard right here before you go is going to go ahead and take a swipe at that bird. I'm going to use primacy. And it whacks one of those robber pigeons and cuts it down.
Oh.
Schwack, that one's dead. And it's your turn, Tosh.
okay. One, invisibility. We're gonna
Okay.
pop that really quick.
1 or 2 dice.
2 dice, but we're gonna go ahead and use that group reroll.
Yeah, use it up. Definitely.
Well, thank God. That's 2 3s, but I'm gonna use a primacy.
Primacy.
Bring one of those to 7. I mean,
Oh,
bring
wait.
that up to a 4.
You can't, because you used the well, okay, the group reroll, that's a fortune's favor. All right, we'll let it go. You can only typically manipulate a die roll once per turn or once per roll, and that would have been a manipulation to reroll, but we'll let it go because
Yeah,
you're,
because that's the rules.
chat
Okay.
gave it to you. Yes.
Yes.
Chat gave it to you. Chat is
Oh,
sitting
Oh yeah,
there
no,
bacon right
I
there.
would. Yeah. I thought chats were just free, and then you can put on primacy on top. But I now know better now. Anyway, John Cena.
I invoke
Boom.
John Cena.
I invoke
Okay.
John Cena.
You are invisible. And
Okay.
you have
nice
one
try.
more action, right?
Yes. I am going to place a silent trap right where the door is, because that is something that I can do. And I don't know what it does, but we're going to find out. And thank God that's a 4.
Great time to test it right here.
Great time to test it. So we're putting it right here. Right there.
You rolled a 4. How big do you want it? Just the area there, or
Do I know better if it will set off if I go through it as well?
yes, it would.
Okay. So what I want, I'm going to flip my actions. I'm going to move first, then I'm going to put a silent where the door is, and I want it to be as big as possible.
Oh, okay. So you can go 12 feet. Do you want it 12 feet by 12 feet?
2, 3, 4. I want it to fill the 9 squares around the door. So the door square 1, 2, 3, 4. The 12. So from here to here.
Oops.
Sure. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7.
I keep doing the wrong thing.
Basically, just encapsulate the door. Let's just make it easy. So everything that my little circle is covering, just put it there.
There we go. This thing is so touchy. Like
Roll
that.
20. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
What did
Okay.
we learn? Don't let Tosh do anything.
Here's the other thing. Where do you want your birds to go?
I want my birds to just move.
Are they
my
just flapping
birds
around?
Flapping around. Let's move the bird closest to the door, away from the door. Just move them like northwest, and just move both northwest, so that their distraction.
Northwest. Towards
Yeah.
Durham?
Yeah,
All right, they fly in the governor's direction. And you use both actions on this invisibility and this silent trap, yeah?
Correct.
Okay. At which point they bamf out. And the governor says, oh. And all right, that takes us back to Ela.
Okay, so Ela, because she isn't now in her human form, is going to move her her movement back to the front of that door and try to give it a good yanking. Because
There's no door. There's just a lock. There are no
just a
handles.
lock.
Yeah, this is very finely
Oh.
crafted. Yeah, but it's just a lock.
Okay.
It's like at the top, at the front, there's a keyhole. Sorry, not a lock, a keyhole. I should be more precise.
Okay.
In the face of the top of it.
Okay. Okay, so for her first action, she's gonna try to use like the some of her tools. So like she's gonna try to use anything like that she can use for like that's like kind of a sharper edge tool to kind of dig within there. Like so something that maybe like she uses for carving and like carving like when she's like taking the skin off of animals, she's gonna try to dig it if it's a big enough bigger. Like I don't know how big this lock is.
So
How
let me
small
give
is it?
you a little more insight. You can try that. The difficulty scale would be increased because you don't have actually the tool you're looking for, but you have technology and you could temporarily, literally manifest picks
Oh,
if you
well,
wanted to.
yes, I'm going to manifest a pick because I didn't even think that was possible. So thank you for letting me know.
Because you have
kind
technology,
senior.
the only thing you cannot do is make it permanent. You can do
No,
everything
that's
else
fine.
technology.
Just as long as I can use it for said situation.
So how many
It's
dice do you
fine.
want to use for your manifestation of the item?
Oh, definitely two. Definitely two. Definitely two. And we got 2 fours.
Oh,
Let's go.
sweet. Okay. So you manifest such precise tools that for this attempt, I'm going to decrease the difficulty scale on your attempt to pick the lock.
Thank you, Hav, Yanlock, for the skills. She does say that secretly. Thank you. Thank you, Hav.
I assume you want to pick it now.
Yes. Yes.
All right. So you get a single die roll at decreased difficulty scale. All you need is a 3 or a 4.
Okay. That is a 3, though.
You're good.
Okay.
You're good because the difficulty scale is decreased. So it's with these tools, you. All right.
Oh my God.
I'll
I'm
give
like
you a little bit.
sweating. Okay. Yes.
All right. You pick the lock. Let's see here. And when you do that, 2 compartments open at the top. They wing out. Each one holds a different key on what looks like a retractable cord. One key is marked with the symbol of a mountain, and one is marked with the symbol of a river.
Okay. Ela's taking both.
Well, so when you lift them, they're attached to a cord that retracts back to the drawer. So like if you let go of it, it would snap back into the drawer. So the keys are
okay.
attached to the cord. So
Yes.
picking them up, you can't pocket them because they would, you see what I'm saying? They're tethered to the drawer.
So if I were to like, would Ela be able to surmise that if she were to break said cord, then she could get them, or would that cause a whole situation?
You don't know. But it seems they're part of the cabinet. So tell me again, so are you taking them both at the same time? Or are you picking up one and then the
It
other?
would be snatch. Yeah, like so basically like snatching it.
So you're reaching on top because the drawers
Yeah.
wing out. And
Yeah.
as you lift them, a little compartment slides on both sides that reveals another lock for either drawer.
this is like the type of thing where then you have to unlock the next set, or like, can I stretch it to unlock? Like pull
Well,
it?
you don't have to. You don't have to, because literally the lock is inside. So the drawers wing out, the key's sitting in the drawer, and when you lift the keys and you pull that cord, it slides back a panel that's in the cabinet that reveals the keyhole, a keyhole on either side in the drawer. Like the keys are right there where the locks are.
Oh, so then I could just use them.
Yeah, you don't have.
Yeah. Okay. I'm thinking, okay, I'm just gonna do whatever. Let's just do it. Sorry.
So the question is, do you want to use the key with the river symbol, the key with the mountain symbol, or are you trying to do both at the same time?
Both at the same time.
Okay. All right.
When the storyteller goes, okay,
Because
As
why
you
not?
stick,
We
you
don't
stick
have time.
both keys in and turn them. The key with the symbol of the mountain, a needle spits out, whack, and hits you in the hand.
That's fine.
Oh,
I can heal
you'll
my
be
body.
okay. You'll be okay.
I can heal my body over time. It's fine.
All right. You take 1 injury and you lose 4 primacy.
Ah.
Oh.
All right.
However, when you click the right hand one, the one with the river,
Mhm.
another set of doors open below that. They wing out. This time, instead of winging out this way, they open long ways.
Yeah.
And on both sides is a crank. There is, let me see. One crank has a clear blue handle or grip, and one crank has a stone gray grip.
feels if we stumbled into a puzzle.
Yeah,
supposed
and I
to
don't think
find
I was
later.
ready. I don't think I was ready for this. Because I do horrible with puzzles. I am not
You're doing
like
great. You're
the
doing
glass
great.
onion.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
I'm not the
you're
glass
doing great. You're
onion
doing great.
peeps. I would have
Remember,
destroyed
glass
that thing.
onion.
Um,
The easiest answer is right in front of you.
Occam's
Because-
razor, baby.
Shoot Edward Norton in the foot.
What were the keys? What were the keys again?
So the
it
river
was
keys
mountain.
were
It was
the
river.
right.
River was
River
the right.
one.
and
Was
mountain.
the correct one, and mountain was the needle.
Yeah.
Correct.
And
Correct.
now you have a blue and a gray crank.
But then that means that mountain next. Oh
Uh,
God.
Or
Well-
river's the only one that's right. I don't know.
I
don't
know.
What's the worst that could happen?
Whatever.
I mean, you're strong. You're strong as shit, Hila.
I don't need primacy. No, I do, but that's fine. I'm good to crank the stone because since the original one was that it was wrong, like the stone was wrong, but
Yeah.
then the river was right. Then I'm assuming that now the stone might be right for this one. So I'm just gonna go with
Do
it's
it.
probably wrong.
Do it. I just saw
YOLO.
a terrifying twinkle in Ty's eyes.
It's probably wrong.
You
It's
turn
fine.
the gray
don't-
crank, and the cabinet seems to shudder a bit, and you let go, and the crank doors close, and the drawers above wing in, and you hear a little click, and the cabinet is back to the same form that it was before.
Damn it.
I have to do it all over again.
Uh-huh.
But I think that's the end of your actions. Am I right?
Okay. Probably, but I still have movement.
You still have movement. Did you do 2 actions, or did you only do the one to pick? Oh, you did, because you manifested the tools and then you picked the lock.
So yeah, I messed that up. So we're gonna just go ahead and go over here, to the side and just wait it out because that's what
Okay.
I'm gonna do.
Is any of this weird rivers and mountains kind of symbology like trigger anything in your Nalnak history or knowledge of your family?
Nah.
Okay.
Tied?
Yeah.
That's it?
It's not, who knows? I will say that the technology strikes you as being land plaque. So it is probably an older artifact, this whole chest, this whole cabinet. So perhaps, but it does seem that the mountain lock on the first one was not the right choice, and now the stone gray handle was not the right choice. However, this guy right here says, I don't see, quack! And there's a snap of energy. And Tosh, you get to roll 1d4 damage.
4.
Oof. Yep.
F that guy.
That unfortunate guard. He's just hoping to get paid today.
He had a dinner date with his wife and everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he screams out in pain as the trap triggers. This guard rushes over. You don't really know now. You can hear the clomping of the boots. And as the guards seem to tend to their companion, and the governor, you see the governor actually move that direction as well, tentatively. Guards, what is it? And Tosh, take us home for this session. What do you do?
Tosh is going to move around the corner, is going to set another silent trap to incorporate the entire throne room. I rolled a 3, going to use a primacy, bump that up to a 4. So I'm down
the entire throne room, or that as much of that area?
So anything that is in gray. So
okay.
Throne,
So you're gonna make it. Let's see, 4, 8, 12. You can do three squares wide.
I can do 3 squares wide and 3 squares up.
Yeah.
Then let's do these 3 squares right then. The shortest path.
Let's see. It looks like it's.
So
that.
Yep, that's it.
1, 2, 3. Oh, I'm too wide on that side. Oops, I did it again. All right. And then that's one action. You want to do anything else? Or do you want to maintain your invisibility?
I will try to maintain my invisibility.
All right. You have 1 die, right?
I do. That's a 3.
Primacy.
Can I also? Yep. Good. Primacy.
Thanks for the raid live from the apocalypse. Thank you so much. We got raided.
The apocalypse.
The apocalypse is now.
Yes, Tosh.
And Tosh is going to look to Hila and goes, 1, I'm sorry. 2, what should we do?
You hear Tosh say that, but don't see them. And as Elo's hunkered down by the side of the cabinet, and Tosh, invisible, has stepped into the room after setting the trap, and the guards tend to their wounded companion, Stone Shaper has left the building, and Ode and First Foundation have no idea what's going on. We will end our session for tonight and see what happens next week when we return to Nuovarden.
Wow.
Oh boy.
That was everything I needed tonight in the form of total chaos. So thank you. That was great.
That was a lot.
It's a perfect plan. It's a perfect plan. This is working brilliantly.
Okay. Is that what we got from me losing all of my privacy practically?
Oh no.
It's okay, you don't need it.
Now there is a door in that room that you guys could possibly escape out of.
No, well, now I can't because obviously there's something that's hidden within this closet puzzle. So there's no way Hila's gonna have to figure out the closet puzzle now.
Is there a door? Oh my god, there's a door. Oh my god, there's a door.
Oh boy. Well, thank you guys. That was very, very fun. I just want to quickly, before we do outros, remind folks who just rated in, Thank you so much, by the way, all of you live from the Apocalypse, Prometheus 2128. We do have a giveaway going on, so exclamation mark drawing to be entered to win. We're going to give this away in just a couple of minutes. A digital copy of the Nuovarden core rulebook, courtesy of our friends at Adventure Slang Productions, Ty and his team, who are creating this world and publishing this new game. It's amazing. We're having a blast with it. So exclamation mark drawing to get in on the action. I'll put a little reminder in the chat.
Yes. Wonderful. Players, thank you so much. And chat, thanks for being here, watching the craziness. It is really coming down to the wire now. And we are going to get answers one way or the other. We shall see what happens. And so next week we'll pick up session 7, the second to last for this arc. I want to thank my players again. Ashley, if you would start the outros for us, tell us who you're at, who you are, where you're at, and well, you don't have to do who you're playing. We'll do that again when we come back next week.
Hey, everybody. I'm Ashley, Minnesota Muse 99 on Twitter. You can find me on this channel on Tuesdays for Heroes of Greyhawk, where I play another troublemaker. And you can also find us on our Discord, or you can find us on our Facebook page for Superior Adventures Guild. Come check us out.
Yes, thank you very much. Utahime.
Hello, everyone. I'm Utahime. You can find me on the social medias at UTAHIME Cosplay, pretty much everywhere, with the exception of Twitter, where you can find me at Brianna DeCoster. And I've been Ela Nelnick, your land plaque who is trying to figure out puzzles and failing at them. But hopefully better luck next week. Otherwise, you can catch me up to lots of TTRPG shenanigans on a weekly basis. If you just follow my socials, you'll see all the things that I'm up to. It's too much to list here. I'm not going to waste everybody's time, but just check it out if you want to see what else I'm up to. I play lots of different fun characters, so I'm always really excited to play with friends and roll dice with friends here as well. I am also the community manager over at the Initiative Order, another amazing community like Guild Superior. So definitely check it out if you'd like. And hopefully you guys are following Guild Superior. And I'll pass it along.
Awesome. Lamar.
Good morning to you, lots, lasses, both and neither. My name is Lamar the Con Guy. That's Lemar the Con Guy. You can find me on Instagram, Twitch, Twitter, Hive, Mastodon, Pterodactyl, Triceratops, Saber-tooth Tiger, and Tyrannosaurus. Or you go to lamartheconguy.com to find all the stuff I've been doing. My TTRPG schedule is starting to line up a little bit as I have this game. And that's it this week. And then next week I have this game and possibly returning to the DAT Network on Friday. So if you have any games you want me to play that is not clashing with my convention schedule, please let me know. I also will be at Level Up Expo in Vegas towards the end of February. I'll also going to WonderCon towards the end of February. I'm also going back to Vegas mid-March for a convention that children should not be at. I will also be back in Vegas in
Vegas, baby.
April for another Anime Las Vegas. I'm planning on going to Fanime in May. I'm doing AX again in July. I'll be in Charlotte, North Carolina for Queen City Anime in August. And I have learned all of that in the 2 weeks of 2023. I'm going to go pass out after this. I'm so tired.
Now I'm tired too. Thank you, Lamar.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
I have been your seer tonight, and also the creator, originator of Nuovarden, this game that we played, and the system, the Fortunes D4 system, which we use for this game. Adventure Slang Productions is the company. Please visit us at adventureslang.com if you would like more information and insight in what we're doing. Follow the shenanigans that we're up to. They're not really shenanigans. They're actual legitimate game design things. We are working toward our crowdfunding campaign this spring for Nuovarden to get this thing alive and in the world. We are going to be at the DungeonCon convention in Santa Clara, California, February 17th through the 20th. If you would like to meet us there, come say hi, sign up to play this game with us, the creators, live in at one of our tables. And what else is going on? March is a very busy schedule. There are several things going on each week in March. More information coming on that. February, who knows? Sometimes I show up in other random games, as does my daughter and co-conspirator Erin Erindipity. You can also find Erindipity on Fresh Out the Box on the regular. So there are those things going on. We have a podcast. We have our schedule going on there. You can see artwork. You can see the beta rules. Enter to the drawing to win tonight for your digital copy of the full color core rule system, and check it out for yourself. Dave, I'll turn it back over to you.
Wow, I'm out of breath for you guys. That was an amazing rundown on all of the great stuff that everybody here is doing. I just want to say on behalf of Guild Superior, thank you for spending time with us and being part of this game. This has been a blast for me. I've been wanting to play Nuovarden for a long time, Ty. We've been talking about it, and I'm so happy that I'm finally doing it. I can't believe that we're 2 sessions away from the end of this particular storyline, but I'm excited that of the possibility for future games of Nuovarden on the channel. So yeah, thank you so much. My name's Dave. I run games, produce games, play games here on Guild Superior with these beautiful people and others. As Ashley alluded to, we have a Tuesday Greyhawk game, which I run and get to torment my my table a little bit. We have a good time there. Tomorrow night, I want to raise your attention to a brand new season of our Shadesong Saga that's kicking off on Thursday night. That's tomorrow, right here on Guild Superior. You're going to really love it. There's some great players, GM'd by none other than the Bleak season. It's going to be fantastic. So please come by and check that out. Make sure that you get in on the giveaway here. I'll put the information, !drawing. Stick with us here. We're going to, thanks Phantom for the resub, buddy. Really appreciate that. Thanks for the support. With the support of our chat buddies, we get to do cool things like commission new artwork, which we've got new artwork coming in for the Heroes of Greyhawk crew. We're going to have some really cool artwork from Jose Ortiz. I'm so excited, who has also contributed to the Nuovarden content. So some good relationships and connections there. We're going to go ahead and raid into our friends Phoenix and Wacky here in just a second. But first, let's give away the Nuovarden Digital Core Rulebook. You have about 4 seconds to get in. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Here it comes. Who's it going to be? Oh, good old Vamp Wickman. Vamp Wickman is our winner tonight. Great to see a Vamp. Welcome in and congratulations on winning. My friends, thank you so much for being here. Ty, again, thank you so much for running this awesome game. I'm having a blast. And we're going to go ahead and raid into our friends. We'll be back next week with more Nuovarden. Check us out tomorrow night. Shadesong.